Hello, everybody. Welcome to SOS episode 45 on this wonderful summer day. As you may hear atmospheric and moody thunderstorms in the background. And while they are not sound effects done purposefully, Bub, you're going through a little bit of a storm. So
small bit.
Just a tiny one.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome back. We'll be getting going here in a second. A big thank you guys for showing up and watching the show. If you guys are enjoying the show and you want to support us, share the show. Let people know what we do, what we stream. And if you guys want to catch up or watch these episodes, they're going to be over at youtube.com/roll for it, as they usually are afterward. You give it a little bit of time. I think they'll be catching up over there soon. But there's like...
Yeah, I did talk to Bentham, but I don't know where he's at with them.
yeah, they'll be up there. I think it's still at 39 right now, but head over there. It's partnering with them that we get to bring you the third and final season of the show. And if you want to go above and beyond, you can subscribe to the Twitch channel here, get you some emotes, support everybody here on the show that you're watching right now. And if you want to support everything we do, you can over to patreon.com/podbynight. As my dogs bark, is somebody coming in my house? No, she might just be barking. Anyway, if I get robbed, it's all on Twitch. If you drop 10 subs, I'll let them rob me for my guitar. If you drop 50 subs, I'll let them rob my game collection. No, we'll be, you can have patreon.com/podbynight where you can support everything we do. You get a little bonuses like the after shows, both audio and video, access to a bunch of other neat little things, and just directly support the show monetarily. And you can also jump into our Discord, which is totally free to jump into. Bub, I'm actually going to hand it off to you. There's something in the works for the Discord. Usually it's Dot that is going to tease it, but Dot is currently off working, so you have to.
Well, right now we have been toying around with the idea of doing some event scenarios for Pod by Night, and we started the initial launch with a what was it?
Oh my God, that's really loud.
The lightning sounds coming from, it sounds like there's like someone banging drums in your house.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
I've lost one of my monitors. It is,
oh, fuck.
I have a black screen right now. What? No, it just came back up.
Okay. Wow.
That's wild.
Spooky, but
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Events. There are things that happen in tabletop stuff. There was a Shovelhead event, and things are taking a change. The Shovelheads are on their way out, and we're going to see a new event cycling through, courtesy of Dot herself. We'll see exactly what that looks like. We're not sure. I don't really want to spoil it because she is fielding and leading this event, but expect a lot more candy.
Yeah, more candy's good though. Candy's like a phenomenal character. I love that character. I still want to see Candy and Deanna's character, the teacher that turned, come together. I feel like that would be a dynamic duo that either ends with one of them killing the other one or a partnership that ends up ruling over their city. I think it'd be really fun. Other than that, I think that's everything that we need to cover. Welcome back, Maggie. It's good to have you back, as Emmy was off taking care of business last week.
Yeah, well, we saw how that ended.
Yes, we did. We'll see what the effects and the ramifications of that were.
43.
Ava, would you like to recap last week?
Yes, quick recap of what happened last week. So Dakota returned as she was out doing gangrel things for some time. And with her return, we had to fill her in on what happened with Nelson and the ritual. So that was quite a bit of time of us sitting down and telling Dakota.
Question. How did Dakota react to the ritual the way you thought she would react? Because you said she's going to have ideas on ideas. But the initial thing is she hated to hear it.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm curious.
No, she didn't immediately react the way I had anticipated. And she was like, what the fuck is all of this? Like, why do we need this? What is it? But I was like, Dakota, just listen. Okay. This is going to help us explaining the reason why the ritual is important, that it would sever Sybil from the abyss and, the antediluvian, who is the abyss essentially, and how that was really important for us. And she's like, well, who's doing this ritual? Nelson. Well, who's gonna what are we gonna do for all of this? How long is it gonna take? Blah, 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 blah. Like, what was she had like one question. She's like, there's one big thing that she was like, is missing I forgot what it was, but there was like one hole in the ritual that she pointed out, and she was like, well, this is going to be a risk if we do it this way. And I was like, okay.
I think one of the questions was she doesn't know how you guys were going to shut the portal or like the
that.
rift
I think
or something.
I think that was what it was.
She wanted to shove.
She wanted to shove Sybil.
Yeah, she wanted to shove Sybil into the abyss.
Yeah, which I don't think is a good idea, but then that's where it started happening, where Dakota, and in her usual sporty fashion, will come up with a bunch of ideas, and that was one of them, along with many other ideas. We went through some of the items that we need for this ritual, and kind of got some ideas of what we needed and how to get it. And that brings to the next part of the episode, where Ollie and Ava went to the Chantry to offer some things in order to get a means to preserve A, blood, kindred blood, and B, a heart.
Yep, kindred heart.
And that was like a 2-for-1 deal. Originally, Ollie's like, I'm just going for the blood. I'm like, let's see if we can maybe like do a 2-for-1 and get something that's big enough to keep both blood and a heart preserved. And that was a surprising success.
Was it surprising?
I think so. I think because Ava wasn't expecting that offer. She
No.
was like, right. What the huh? Like it was. She was not ready for that.
Yeah. No. And internally screaming at it, but ultimately came to terms with, actually, that was a good deal. We don't really need the book anymore. We offered the Saito's book to the Chantry, and
you're yeah, I like how you're like, and she came to terms with it, and that was it. Didn't at all attempt to copy it 3 separate different ways.
Yeah, okay. She eventually came to terms with it.
I laugh because it's so on brand for Ava.
My mouth just was like,
that part
you
out.
gave up the book?
I gave up the book, and it was very hard. I thought maybe I could try to copy the book, to like just keep a copy of it and like give them the original, whatever. I'll just like write everything in. Couldn't make copies of it. Saito came up with like contingencies for any way. I tried to take a photo of the book and like pages. I tried to just write the pages. He had magic in that book that had a contingency for everything. So that
No, you're giving to somebody else.
now we're giving it to the Tremere, which is probably very bad. But honestly, by the time they figure out what the book does, I'm hoping we'll be past whatever end of Sybil comes, and that like it won't really matter as much. But like, yeah, this kind of bad that we're giving them the book, but hopefully that is a later problem, much later down the road problem. But yeah, on top of
in game, like maybe what Ava's worries are when it comes to what that could lead to. Well,
yeah,
save it for in game. Just storytelling curiosities.
On top of that, Dakota made a deal with Damien, a surprise deal with Damien to essentially. We realized we also need the dagger that Sybil has, and so Emmy, you might be off the hook because Dakota made a deal with Damien to see if Damien could get the dagger, essentially, which was kind of surprising that she did that. And so that might come to fruition sometime down the line, that Damien might be able to assist us in getting that dagger. So yeah, basically last episode was us gathering some components for this ritual. We still have a few things we need to get. Dakota wants to talk to Rudy, and she has left that was like her last thing. She's like, I'm talking to Rudy.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so she's going to do that. But that's
it's about
pretty much it. Yeah, that's where we left off.
Solid recap of the episode. Did anything, Bub, you think anything that we missed on that? No?
Not tremendously, no. A lot of nuance, but no, it's
nuance.
all pretty good.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, without further ado then, I'm excited to jump in. So let's set the scene, rein things in, pick up where our coterie left off. The familiar sounds of the Lights Out pub, the familiar chatter, the familiar warmth, and the familiar smells of good, well-grilled burgers. Saying otherwise offends a very particular individual that nobody wants to offend. Unless Dakota's around. And so as Grant's flipping burgers and this evening comes in, please everybody go ahead and make me your rouse checks for the evening.
Oh,
am I low? Hang on, sorry, my mic. I can bump that.
Oh, I remember.
Oh, what happened?
Does that sound better?
And why does Rouse
Oh my
check
God.
think of it?
We
Oh,
forgot
well,
one big thing that happened last episode.
yeah, I think,
we
yeah.
we went to Rowan's
Yes.
family's house and had a very emotional moment with Ollie. And
I was asking because I couldn't remember if that was last week or 2 weeks ago. I was like, fuck, was
yeah,
that
I
last
totally
week?
forgot about that. And I used my disciplines quite a bit.
Quite a bit,
And
yeah.
I saw the Rouse. I was like, oh shit, I'm at Hunger 4. Right.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I entranced like 3 times to
You
tell
did.
cops to go away.
You did. It was really fun to watch you deal with the cops. It's something you haven't done in a while, and it was enjoable.
Ava's
Yes.
gonna go murder another person today.
And I'm at the Ivory Tower.
Yes, you are.
Oh God.
But we'll get to that. This evening,
Yep.
nothing particularly terrible happens. You wait with 5 hunger, Ava, before we even worry about the lights out pub. While we get the familiar smells and whatnot, our vision and our presence is ripped away almost as brutally as your hunger hits when you open your eyes this evening. And when you do wake up with a 5 hunger gnawing at the back of your mind, out of curiosity, what is your what does Ava do? Does she attempt to use her herd? It's been long enough where you could. Do you attempt to get to the lights out pub? What do you do?
I should get to the lights out pub.
How do you get there?
Oh God. I would like to get a car to get me there.
Sure. Yeah, get yourself just a private driver, one of your own folk. All right, no problem. As you walk out, the Ivory Tower is well guarded, highly secure. You're not going to walk into the lobby of the Ivory Tower and see somebody bleeding, from their nose or like a speck of blood on the ground. Nothing that's going to drive you into an immediate frenzy. You get your driver, you saddle into the car, and as you sit down and tell them to take you to Lights Out Pub, I imagine you close your eyes and just try to focus, not wanting to be distracted too much. Can I have a resolve composure roll from you, please?
Yeah, if this man says one thing to me.
It's not even that. Not even the man.
Oh.
It's the smells of outside.
Oh.
The smells of mortal life. Both the disgusting in the burning cigarettes and the boozy vomits in the corners, and the tantalizing, the smells of cooking food, the smells of their own sweat on the beating down their body where you could sink your teeth into, the smells of wine as you pass through some of the more uppity parts of Chicago. But with 4, none of that urges you to ask your driver to pull over or have you stop to try and gather your thoughts. You're fine. You have control over yourself. And though maybe not late at all, actually, you arrive at the Lights Out Pub, brought back through the back doors, not to cross through the open waiting room where you might see some blood. And Ollie, as you're probably already finishing up your prep work for tonight for cooking and the first orders are being cooked, the door opens and in walks Ava. Are you attempting to maintain composure or do you not give a shit?
Once I enter the Lights Out Pub, I lose giving the shits, and
You see a familiar,
just,
near frenzied look in her eyes, Ollie. A familiar one, so very familiar.
Yeah. Another rough night.
Unpleasantly rough, yes.
All right. Well, where's your goon squad? Where's your herd?
I would love to find one of them as quickly as possible, but I thought maybe I would be responsible tonight and stop here first so that I don't end up with another body.
Okay. Well, dial them in, and I'll babysit.
All right. I'm going to do that.
The sarcasm, the cattiness is all phenomenally well played. As Ava is, you've been there, Ollie. It's different for everybody. She's doing her damnedest. The fact that she didn't fucking kill somebody on the way here is truly like a step in the right direction as compared to the past few times. There's usually somebody in the back room that's kind of rehabbing or taking the night just to drink, sleep off too much to drink, and they couldn't get a cab home. But does Ollie have anybody in particular, any thoughts in particular as to what you're looking to feed her?
Well, he's expecting her to call one of her herds.
I do have my own goons.
Yeah,
I
do you
guess
want
I
to call
can
one
call
of your
them.
goons? Do you want to use one of the goons that are working here, like a busboy goon, or your own goon, like
Poor guy.
or like goon, like you call one of your herds on the on a payphone, like a phone or something?
I did just feed from a guy here last night. So
one of yours?
Yes, I did. So let me get somebody else. Well, actually, no, I don't want to wait. I'm gonna just get somebody here. One of the guys working. I don't.
You just grab
one
of the. Do you got your options? Obviously, Grant and Mac are not your two options, but you have two others that are working the bus boy, and one comes back and doubles as a dishwasher. You're just either one.
Dishwasher.
You don't give a shit. Yeah, the one who's going back to wash dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you head back there, and there he is. He's this is a younger looking guy, probably one of his first jobs. Ava doesn't care as long as they can do what they need to do. You don't really look into them too much. You don't even know this individual's name. And as you walk over and he gives you a pleasant nod and a smile and goes to continue washing dishes. Do you just yeah?
I just grab him. The pleasant smile. I return with more of a.
What do you like? You grab him by the shirt, like you just walk up to him.
Just grab him by the shirt.
And there's a moment where maybe you want to smell. You try to take in the smell of his own flesh, but it's overwhelmed by the smell of grease and dishwasher. It's like hot water and soap. But as you grab him, you go,
I'm gonna do. Ollie's gonna be mad. I'm doing it right in the kitchen here.
Oh shit! Okay, go ahead. So you just bite in. Okay, give me a frenzy check.
I'm doing it right in the kitchen.
Let's give you a frenzy resist check.
Yeah. Oh dear. I rolled one success.
Yeah. There's a moment where you sink your teeth in and you pull that first point of hunger. And there's Ollie probably doesn't notice right away either because it just happens. And then it takes a moment and Grant's like, oh, Ollie, boss. Oh God! Hey,
come through the door.
Yeah. You're getting shouted for. You pull in, and she's just the dishwasher feeding on the individual.
Do I see him losing color?
As you walk in, yeah, you see him. He's like already, his eyes are rolled already back. He's like, he's starting to like fade a bit as he's going.
Sure. Then I'm gonna pull her off.
Yeah. So you walk over there, and Grant just goes, "Is it weird that it's kind of hot?" And as you walk over, you grab her. Go ahead and give me a strength brawl versus her strength brawl.
Yeah. Okay.
Hang on. Let me look up the rules of the frenzy because I think you get some bonuses here since you are frenzying.
I got 4 successes.
Hunger frenzy. Here we go.
4 out of a fucking the dice.
Yeah, but where's I don't care about prices of.
Oh, Maggie.
Effects of frenzy. There we go. While in frenzy, vampires remain immune to any health-based penalties. They can only use physical discipline, such as celerity, fortitude, and potence, but they resist mental disciplines, dominant and presence, with 3 extra dice. If the discipline has no resistance pool, you get +2. The player can spend willpower to assume control of their character for a single turn. Oh yeah, we already knew that. So that's it. Okay, nothing crazy. I thought you got some strength bonuses, but no, you do not.
I will only repeat if I get a crit here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brawl and strength. Yeah, no, 1 success.
Yeah. So with very little effort, we'll say you've pulled 2 points of hunger off of him before he gets and grabs you. Your teeth kind of get ripped out. His body just kind of thuds onto the ground with a slightly wet slap as there's some water on the tile floor beneath him. And as he does so, Ava's kind of hoisted up. Are you picking up off of her feet?
I imagine that it's probably he puts the hand on the guy's head, and then the other hand comes over hers, grabs the forehead to pry it back. It's like, easy, Hoover vacuum. What the hell?
She's still absolutely frenzying. So you're just trying to get free so you can fucking finish feeding on him. So unless you want to spend a willpower to have control of yourself for 1 turn, you make me a roll to just strength brawl your way out of this shit. Or dex brawl. Dex brawl would work as well.
Look, Ollie's just holding on to her.
Or Dex Athletics, rather, not Dex Brawl. Dex Athletics.
Dex Athletics?
Yeah, that's a defense roll.
That's pretty... Okay, let's see.
You crit, so 5.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah.
See what
Dang,
Ollie rolls.
girl.
Did you already roll, Ollie? Sorry.
I did not. No.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh,
she,
messy.
you like, hey, you have a
Gotta beat a
vacuum. And
5.
as you do, she just takes a swipe at you. Her fangs are bared. And, you know, you've been close up before, but for our viewers and our listeners, it's a reminder as like the humanity in Ava is gone. It's amazing what composure and just facial expressions can do. But when that is gone, there is simply an animal, something unnatural in control. And you see that in the way she looks at you. She looks at you like she wants to fucking kill you. Not in her sassy way. No, she wants to rip your throat out. So go ahead and make
Can I
me
get my grappling specialty?
Yeah, absolutely. +1.
Gotcha. 11.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you crit and then some with that. Jesus Christ. So she swings and swipes at you, and you're just kind of able to hold her back, maybe even pin her up against the wall to hold her fucking arms down or whatever. But it's, you know, pretty effortless. It's surprising that she like swipes at you. It always is. She has like a surprising dexterity to her. But as you hold her up against the wall, yeah, you're not having too much of an issue holding her back. Is the plan just to hold her until it ends?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna have
I'll tell Grant, pick this guy up. Pick him
Yeah,
up,
Grant's
put him
already
back.
kind of walking his way over, looking at Ava.
Put some pressure on the wound.
He walks over. He's like looking at Ava. He does the oh, is that hot? Is gone. He is terrified seeing you. I don't think he's ever seen you up close, frenzy like this before. And there's just a moment of like true fear before he scurries off and grabs the guy and is like places a towel up against the 2 puncture marks just to put pressure on it, and pulls him off to one of the empty back rooms, leaving just the 2 of you. I'm just check something real quick.
Come on, get it out of your system.
Well, go ahead. I'm gonna need one more roll from you either way. That I need a 3rd.
Okay.
Or you can use a
am
willpower and maintain control for a round, and you can make another frenzy resist check.
Nope. 1 success.
I got to be honest for the story. What does 4 hunger mean?
4, the sight of blood. Also, you're at 4. Yeah, you're gonna need to make me a hunger frenzy check.
Oh my god. Yeah, hunger.
It's a little
is
bit.
also
I mean,
frenzy.
yeah, sight of blood is a way easier of a roll because you didn't taste
Yeah.
it.
What's the
You'll-
DC?
I think it's just 2. Yeah, even if
Yeah,
it was 3, you're fine. There's a moment,
You're fine.
Ollie, and I bet you it even brings panic into you as you look at Ava and she's like flying off the handle. There's blood still dribbling at her lip, and there's a moment where you feel that same, and you feel the twitch in a finger, and you probably, I imagine that sends a shock, but you're okay. I'm just trying to read how long frenzy checks, and for some reason that's obnoxiously hard to find. Hang on.
It could have been really bad. Yeah.
That could have been.
That
really
would have
bad.
been
I was
an
just like in chat. I was
incredible-
like,
Two
that could've
frenzy
been
kindred.
domino of,
What a
like,
fucking
just, like,
left turn for the campaign.
Ollie could have just ended up with nobody left in his.
In his bar.
Yeah.
That would have been
Oh.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, so it's not defined because it's just basically up to me depending on some shit. So you make an additional attempt. We'll call that the final one, as most combat should only last 3 rolls according to the rules anyway. And after what is essentially 30 seconds, Ava, you start coming to your senses and you blacked out. Fuck, you blacked out. You know what that means. But Ollie, it becomes clear after a bit. Like she blinks a bit, she loosens up, she stops swinging as often until she stops entirely. There's an exhausted look in her eyes, but eventually her fangs retract and you watch them slide back up into the gums as she regains control over herself.
Let her slide down the wall and
As
Toss
you
some
do,
napkins to
as you
her.
slide her down the wall, that's when the back door opens and in skips Emmy.
Yeah. She's got like rainbow bows and like a really colorful dress on.
And you walk
her little
into
teddy bear backpack.
Ava, having clearly been pinned against the wall, slowly being let back down by Ollie.
toss some napkins
Oh,
to
it
her.
looks like you
got-
guys are already having so much fun without me. Why'd you
Yeah.
start?
It was raspberry jam, right? Yeah, it's all over your face. Now we started now.
Oddly, Emmy's gonna bring like Is there like a chair?
Yeah, there's always a chair or two back here. That's
And we will like scoot a chair up to where Ava's and like lick her face.
Ava just like is like, you know, a cat when you pick them up, she kind of like stiffens when you do that. Like
and Ava, you're at, by the way, just remember you're down to 3 hunger.
Oh, bless. Okay. What are you doing, Emmy?
It's helping you clean up your raspberry jam.
Her licking you though probably reminds you something. You need to go lick your wound. The wound's closed. It won't heal otherwise.
Where'd that poor boy go?
Just he points to the back. I don't know, one of the rooms.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Last night was a rough night and I was really hungry this morning and thanks, Ollie, for helping.
Don't mention it.
What happened?
I just fed off of the dishwashing boy and you know, the usual. I almost killed him.
Ollie's gonna pull up his sleeves and start finishing the load of dishes.
Yeah, makes sense. I imagine though the hunger in you is even gnawing at you at this point, Ollie. Do you eventually swing out and take care of the food?
It depends on, honestly, if my storyteller will let me, since my area's been poached pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to necessarily hunt here. You can go elsewhere.
How are you feeling, Emmy, as far as hunger goes? I'm still, honestly, I could
you
probably
still could go for something.
Maybe we do a little outing, like to the rack or something.
Like, plop on the sit her little bun, and, like kind of dangle her feet around, and it's like,
I'm good, but I'm always down with eating something else.
Honestly, if you're
maybe I can help you.
If you're worried about food, like problems, your best bet then wouldn't necessarily be the rack. It would be the Painted Lady. It's a Fangs Out club. They have security there. And you have a connection to Edith. So if you spoke to her, she could probably align you somebody and security to prevent a frenzy for Ollie, specifically knowing what you're capable of. Because you still have, you're going to taste blood. You're still going to have to make a roll. Like you still have one more roll to make. This is just something that in game, all of you probably would have thought of at some point. You know, anybody could have thought of it, but the rack runs the danger of Masquerade breach. The Painted Lady is invite only. So it's hard to get in, but once you're in, it's a safer place.
Perhaps we do an outing tonight to get ourselves a bit more fed. I could use some.
Yeah, I was meaning to take some runouts anyway. Just hit a couple of things, you know, check on the cats, head out to the Chantry. Maybe see how Nelson's doing.
Yes. Perhaps we do that.
Jump down, and then she spins around in like her dress, like, you know, when your dress like kind of goes out, and she just kind of like feels it, and she's like,
I always love a little adventure.
Go ahead and wits awareness me, both you and Ava. Ollie and Ava, rather.
Yeah, I don't even think I need a wits awareness.
Got a 1. That's a really bad roll for me.
No. Ava, you definitely caught it, and it was just a brief moment. And I mean, it makes sense for Ava. You can see beyond the things of the realm of the norm. You swear when she twirled, you swear you saw what you thought were tiny little sparkles, almost like kind of come out from the side, very dull in brief moment, and they were gone. But then that's it.
You're in good spirits tonight, Emmy.
Yes, there's so much to be happy about. You smell that?
There's burgers, cheese, and
Delicious.
mayonnaise.
And grease.
It's wonderful. All the things of life.
She's getting it. Yeah, burgers are pretty great. I agree.
You should hear Grant describe his food while he was eating.
Yeah. Juicy. Crunchy.
It's a love his daring terminology.
So what's the change of heart, Emmy? The other night you were talking about how meaningless life is, and now you're dancing and sparkly.
Sparkly? I don't know what you're talking about, but
you didn't see any
I
sparkles.
will say that there's just so much beauty in the world. Look how colorful it is.
and she like runs up to Ava and like grabs her hand and like spins her around.
What in the Mary Poppins is happening right here?
Should I go get my gun?
I don't know. I was thinking about getting it myself.
Mm,
I'm not crazy, right? You were like very Dear Diary mood apathetic yesterday. Today, you're a whole lot different.
You know what? I just have a different outlook on life now.
did something help change that outlook the one night that we didn't see you, Emmy?
I don't know. Maybe.
I looked to Ollie.
Fuck it. What can I do?
Honestly, I'm happy that I prefer this Emmy to the Emmy 2 nights ago. But
That's kind of mean. You should
I'm-
like all parts of Emmy.
I do, but the other Emmy wasn't Emmy. That was
Yes. There are many pieces of me. I'm like an onion.
you know what? I
Like
can't.
lets go of your hands, like, but like angrily and like kind of like aggressively.
There's a strength that actually sends your arms and whips back, like reminding you that, oh yeah, sure, he's a fucking kindred, first of all.
Yeah. You know
All right,
what?
well, let's suit up. Let's hit the painted lady.
Yes, I think we should go there first. Because hungry.
Yeah. Vampire Namis. Let's go. Nice.
Yes.
So off to the Painted Lady?
Yes.
What weekday is it?
I would say.
Well,
But we haven't had in a
so
while.
if-
Thrusty
if-
Thursday.
I was gonna say, well, if Elysium is a week from today, it's probably anywhere between, Thursday could work. Thrusty Thursday, I'll say Friday to Sunday, but Thursday's fine. Thursday would work too.
Thrusty Thursday. We haven't had one of those in a while.
So you enter on a thrusty Thursday. And what you see when you enter the Painted Lady on such a night as this is a mix of dancing, open feeding, and people being bent over every goddamn surface that you can possibly see in ways that are both feasible and infeasible unless you're a kindred. It is very, 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 very busy.
Oh,
I thought it was Thirsty Thursday, but it's Thrusty Thursday.
Thrusty. Yep.
I think I'm gonna go to Edith. Like as appealing and entertaining as this would have been to younger Ollie, I need a snack.
Yes. You know what? You do that. I am going to go dance.
And feed.
Oh,
And
I'm gonna
feed.
dance too.
Good.
I'm not gonna watch that.
Yeah. My storyteller eye is trying to avoid the thought as well. So Ollie, it's a brief interaction. As Edith, as you approach, seems busier than you've actually ever seen her before. As you approach the door, you're forced to wait a good 20, 30 minutes. And when you're finally let in, she's speaking to 5 other individuals, none of which are recognizable to you, except for McTavish, who's actually sitting out in the back talking to his counterpart, the young girl that is with him almost everywhere he goes. He makes eye contact with you for a brief moment, but doesn't give you a nod and just goes back to talking. And Edith, realizing you're walking in, quickly makes pleasantries, but steps away from the group. They're not leaving, however. And she approaches and said, in a very pleasant way with that long cigarette holder as she takes a drag off of one that is almost finished at this point. And as she lets the smoke fall out of her mouth, her nose, and bits of her lips where there are missing flesh is, she looks to you and she simply says, "I've been told I can do you a favor. How can I help?"
I'm a little hungry, and I'm kind of at that point. It gets shaky. Might lose a little bit, and I need some strong arms just in case I do something regrettable.
She nods and she goes, "Don't worry about it." She takes a moment and calls somebody over. There's a brief chat about open rooms and what's available before she turns. She says, "Okay, second room on your right after you leave here. It'll be open in about 5 minutes. We'll have somebody there, both with the sustenance and security, as it were."
Thank you.
She just gives you a pleasant smile and she takes a long drag while just kind of watching you as you turn to leave. And as you're about to walk away, she just says, "It's always a pleasure to work with the loud ones, Ollie."
It's a pleasure likewise, Edith.
She turns and goes back to her crew as you walk out the door and enter said room. Unless you roll terribly, we'll see if I even need to worry about this particular individual who's here. So go ahead and make me a frenzy check as you are brought. Did you have a preference? She would have actually asked you if you had a preference of like what or who you'd like to feed on, mood or otherwise. Like,
no, discourage is not really a thing he's concerned with. It's mostly an adult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, she's absolutely fine with that. And so yeah, after about 5 minutes go by, it's a nondescript, very generic looking, just like middle-aged dude walks in, doesn't say a word, understands he's there for this reason, sits down, like pulls his shirt down to expose a vein, and the individual who walked it in, a woman, just stands on the inside, her arms crossed, watches you, not with a judging look, just with a in case something goes wrong. Yeah, it's not like oh god, you're an asshole, I have to do this. It's more like, okay, let's see.
Do
what
they
happens.
appear to be of like Nos background?
Definitely not Nos. Nope.
Okay.
Nope. There's
okay.
It could be any number,
Open
but
for Gangrel or Brujas is what he's
fair.
banking on
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
point. So then I'll try my resist. 5 successes.
Absolutely
Nice.
fine. So you can feed down a total of 3 would be max without killing him.
I'll
But
take 3.
and you put him in a rough spot, but he'll be fine. He'll be taken care of here, and it's done. Ava, you feed as well. There's no real worry about going into a frenzy, so you can go down to 1 hunger. Emmy, what are you at for hunger?
0.
Oh yeah, you're
I'm
still
here for
fucking
fun.
yeah. You're fine. Yeah,
Hungry.
Emmy is
I'm
just dancing.
I'm just hungry. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, I'm here for the fun.
So we'll say that whole
I'll just
endeavor
eat for joy.
probably takes close to 45 minutes all told before Ollie. You see Ava and Emmy. You see Ollie before he gets to you, because he just towers over so many of the other kindred here. Is there any intent on staying here for a longer period of time, Ollie?
Do I see any other notable kindred in the crowd?
Notable as in like politically important,
Yeah.
or go ahead and make me wits awareness.
Sure. It's 5 successes.
You see Brett for one. He's out there.
Always.
Brett actually hasn't seen you. He's been occupied, shall we say, knocking off a member of the Black Book list. One of which you do not. It's a nobody. You don't recognize him in at all. But looking around as well, looking for somebody of more note, you actually do see an individual that you have never really interacted with at all. Son, the new-ish Malkavian Primogen member. I want to say prince. I'm like, nope, that's not right. Primogen.
Okay, Prince.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
They are sitting down over by one of the corner booths with a gaggle of individuals around him, not in the same way as Brett, where they're like hanging all over him in a sexual way, but he clearly has their just raptured attention as he's leaning back. His legs are kind of kicked out. You can tell he's slouched in his seat a little bit. There's a drink in front of him that is not wine. It looks like, for Ollie or in Ava, actually, you probably both know it's like something close to like an old fashioned. And he's got a half smile on as he's clearly in the middle of telling some story that has everybody just listening, which Ava particularly as well would know, like all these, the 90% of these people are probably leeching because there's power there. And if they make nice to power, you never know.
Yeah.
There's the benefit of being an individual of power. And if you enjoy the attention of it.
Aside from the situation that they are the Primogen council member, what is the overall like a local rapport? Is Sun accepted as the Malkavian representative, or is it just like this is just a spot? It's like a filler kind of thing until the appropriate amount.
I mean, as far as you know, Sun is genuinely like he's just he's acknowledged as the Primogen of the Malkavian. It doesn't seem like he's filler. It doesn't be. But if you want more on that, you could use your network at home. That is a place where you could the ShrekNet.
Yeah.
That is a place you could get that kind of answer. That might even be one of the more easy things up there. Once a new Primogen Council member enters the scene, like I'm sure there's a ton of info in the history or the archives of ShrekNet.
I think I'll introduce myself.
You walk over.
Yes.
Yeah, he is clearly. Hang on. I I forget how old he is. Like, I need to look.
Right? Kind of hobnob a little bit with the Primogen.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to check his age because I don't know off the top of my head how old this guy is. I know he looks young and shit, but when was
I imagine Ava's just watching like while dancing and then sees Ollie moving. It's like
I know. I'm like
watching a great white shark just slowly pan through the sea at a target.
Yeah.
Ollie's hyper focused at this point. He's fed. His hunger is super low. Yeah.
Oh, and I see Ollie going to make some face with the Malkavian Primogen. Ava like keeps a little one of her eyes over on him, like, we'll see how that goes.
Where? Oh, okay. What a weird way to put that in there. Oh, he's old as fuck. Oh, fuck.
He's
Emmy.
What?
Intelligence. Hang on. No, what's memory? What's a memory roll?
Resolve
intelligence? Composure intelligence? It's a weird 2 ability one.
Wits.
Is it wits intelligence?
I don't remember. I'm not really sure what the memory tests are.
Because that's the only thing that I'm looking for here. Yeah, hang on. We got. Oh, nice. You got like little. I love that idea. Like little
my cheat sheets.
That's smart as hell.
Yeah, it's right on a cheat sheet.
The cheat sheet doesn't have like a memory check. Alertness, dodging, lying, convincing, punching, reading emotions.
I thought it was like wits resolve or like wits composure or something like that.
Hang on.
Intelligence resolve. Yeah, shit. I can't remember.
Yeah, mine has alertness, convincing, lying, punching, observing.
Yeah, because there's no specific role.
Yeah, I don't know if there is one.
Okay. So what they're saying is like intelligence plus whatever skill is like appropriate for the situation. It can be anything from awareness to occult to fucking like social skills.
But it's a wits. It looks like it's wits adjacent. So wits something.
All right.
Oh, wits instead of intelligence.
Let's do. Sorry, I'm trying to open this thing. Why don't we just do a wits intelligence roll? I think it's fine. That makes sense to me.
Wits intelligence.
Yeah, because like academics.
It's wits resolve.
It's wits resolve?
It's wits resolve. If you look at the dominate powers in cloud memory, your pool as a dominator is charisma dominate versus their memory test, which is a wits resolve.
Yeah, and that's why I can't find that thing, because it's fucking buried in one ability.
Okay. Buried in dominate.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, wits resolve. 5.
Yeah. So he looks fucking familiar. You lay eyes on him. You see Ollie's going over there, which, you know, everybody's eyes probably get drawn. Everybody's in the coteries' eyes gets drawn. And there's something about him. He looks so fucking familiar. You don't know his name, but you think back and it's from a long time ago. He might be somewhere as old as you. You don't know. You just remember the face, and that's all. That's with 5. That's with 5. That's how difficult it is to remember. And it's not from a discipline on you. It's just you would have only got a glimpse of him occasionally.
Interesting.
But yeah, you don't know. You can't put a time, like, you know, you've seen him in your past, and it's like no earlier than like 20, 30 years ago, maybe further back. It's hard to tell. But just put that out there. Just trickle that in your mind. You don't need to act on it at all right now. You just recognize his face. So you walk over there and you're just kind of like listening. You kind of like ingratiate yourself, so to speak, Ollie. Are you looking to like make your way up to the front of like where all the people are? Or are you kind of lingering on the outskirts of the social circle that's kind of fallen around him?
Well, based on the fact that it seems like wherever I go, everybody finds me at least a somewhat interesting individual, I will grab a drink and not drink it, just to make pleasantries and stay in the vicinity of his vision until he finds an open moment.
Sure. There's a few maybe minutes go by of him just it seems like he's talking about one time where he snuck into the near a stadium at night and he found one of the fucking baseball players sleeping with another player's wife, and he just like took advantage of it and fucking blah, blah, blah. Just nonsense story that you even listened to, Ollie, and you're not even sure how much of this is even true at all, or if he's simply enjoying the attention that comes with it. But he does make eye contact with you occasionally over the course of the story. And as the story wraps up and the others are hanging on by a thread waiting to see if the next one's here, he stands up and he kind of rolls his shoulders and he's like, sorry, everybody, but it's been a long night and I think I should be getting going here. Yeah, and a few people are like, oh, come on, one more drink, I'll get you. Come on, hey, you can feed for me. Hey, you can, and he laughs and waves and he's like, I appreciate it, truly. You have all been more than welcoming, but the government's gonna government, and I need to go take care of it. Otherwise, this shit's gonna fall apart. And he just kind of steps around the table, and he smiles at you. And as he walks by you, he stops for just a moment, turns to you, and he outstretches his hand. Oliver Babyface Hopkins. And he reaches his hand out.
That's a name I've been called in a long time.
He just gives a pleasant smile. I apologize. I wasn't aware.
Yeah, well, it's all right. No apologies necessary. Primogen son.
He nods, and he smiles, and he goes, any enemy of the Lasombra is a friend of mine. As he walks by, he just pats you on like the arm, and he goes, we should get a drink sometime. You seem like good people.
A moment, if you will.
He shakes his head and breathes, I'm sorry, I meant it. Primogen Council meeting in 30 minutes. I have a driver waiting.
Then let me walk with you, at least to the door.
He continuing to walk, he shrugs and then gives you like a casual gesture to follow.
I will take, the
Ava and Emmy, before we go, what are you doing as you watch? It's a brief interaction. It's, again, a few seconds, but you see and hear it.
I just let him do his thing, honestly. I would slide over to Emmy and be like, Ollie, making some chit chat with the Malkavian Primogen.
Ava, you will be welcome to roll an intelligence politics roll.
Malkavian Primogen, she says.
Yes. Oops, it's
that doesn't stir any memories. He definitely didn't. Whoever this person was not important or had any power. He's just a familiar face. You just know he's probably pretty old. Doesn't mean anything other than that, but you're just like, no, he's definitely kind of old. I remember him. I just don't know what fucking decade I saw him in. With politics intelligence, as far as you know, when it comes to Sun on the Primogen Council, being somebody who lives and breathes within the Ivory Tower and still mingles with the Toreador, when she can. He seems to be a pretty affable guy. For the most part, he's not like any typical Malkavian, or at least stereotypical Malkavian, like the twins or any of that, where he seems to lean on whatever his visions tend to be as a Malkavian. It's hard to understand their abilities sometimes, but he genuinely seems to be an affable, likable, relatively enjoyable personality to be around, who is attempting to do his best to earn the respect of the Primogen seat he was given.
I think when you say that to Emmy, he's like,
well, they went to the Primogen before. I recognize them.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm. I don't remember that much. Just their face is very, very familiar.
So he's very old then. Not saying that you're, but you know how it is. Yes, I haven't spoke with him myself. I saw him once at the Ivory Tower, but he seems pleasant enough.
What do you think Ollie has interest in him for?
Perhaps just making more allies or people in the city, getting to know us more in case we can ever use them or if they need us for something.
How strategic.
I agree.
Do you, as you watch Sun walk away and Ollie follow, do you guys follow, or do you just stick back for now?
I think I would, just stay here.
Emmy's having too much fun dancing.
Yeah, same.
That's fun. So, okay, Ollie, as you were saying, he motions for you to follow, and he continues to walk.
I asked, what do you mean by that?
Well, about the Lasombra, I mean, it's pretty obvious. They've caused nothing but issues since their acceptance into the city under Prince Bella's actions. And while she's certainly attempting to make up for the damage done to the city, many of the relationships, both politically and personally, have been ruined. I mean, Rose went missing. The one that was somewhat connected within the Camarilla is now gone. Lasombra are aimless, leaderless, problematic.
And do you speak on behalf of the rest of the Malkavians in the city in the same regard?
It's not that cut and dry. I speak for myself, and the Malkavians understand the power that my words hold within the council. Unlike the Ventru, there's no Malkavian board.
Where do the rest of the Primogen Council stand on the Lasombra?
It's a mixed bag. Why so interested? Well, this is where you're walking out, and the music now becomes more of a rhythmic thumping as you step onto the metal scaffolding, and Rat Tail just kind of gives a half-assed wave as you walk by him. As you walk past him, I'm sorry. What did you say again? I got lost in the description.
What was the overall take on the Primogen Council?
Oh yeah, it's a mixed bag. Some don't think it's worth punishing everybody for the actions of a few. I think that's the actions of the few represent a core rot that needs to be removed.
Are you taking actions?
As many as I can within the laws of the traditions laid out by the Camarilla.
Of course, we wouldn't want to step on toes.
He shakes his head. Of course not, especially as somebody who's still relatively new within the Primogen Council.
Interesting. Well, if I have issues, I intend to take it up with my Primogen, Snitch, as well. But it is nice to know that there are others that are keeping their eyes open and ears to the ground.
He smiles, and he stops just as he reaches the front door, not opening it to leave yet, and he turns around and he goes, and it's a pleasure to meet one of the loud ones. You've all made quite a name for yourself within the city. One of rather positive influence, I dare say.
We do things, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But we do things.
Don't we all?
Look, Primogen son,
You can just call me son, please.
I'd like to talk more with you in the future. Is there a convenient way to reach you, or should I find you here?
He almost reflexively takes like a deep breath as though he's thinking. And he nods. Yeah, well, like I said, I'd love to get a drink with you. From what I've heard, you're just an enjoyable, good sort to be around, and I'm sure you have stories.
Feel free to come by my pub then.
That's what I was getting to. Lights Out Pub, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Ballard? Slightly invested?
Quite a few of the Ventru are invested in the area.
He nods. I just know Ballard a bit more well off than the others.
We rub elbows from time to time. It's convenient for all parties involved.
Who doesn't that man rub elbows with? And he rolls his eyes.
Who can't he?
And he goes, well, my driver's waiting. It was a pleasure to speak with you, Mr. Hopkins. And he reaches out his hand to shake yours again to say goodbye.
Shake. Pleasure's all mine.
As he walks away and the door swings shut behind him, wits awareness.
Oh.
You got it.
High difficulty, so we'll see how you roll. Yeah. Nothing immediately. So the door shuts and
willpower?
Yeah, you can willpower if you want.
I can roll 3 on that. Yeah. So 4 successes.
It still didn't catch anything. Unfortunately, the door shuts, and as you walk away, make your way back into the pub. Does Ava and Emmy? You see them dancing still. They're just still dancing away.
Sure.
Do you go in? Do you hang out here, Ollie? Do you wait? Do you interrupt? I know that the club ain't exactly his scene, but
what would we say is like the average? Because you said it was 45 minutes and like 10 minutes elapsed for him to leave, so it's been just shy of an hour at this point.
Yeah, we'll say an hour.
How long would Ollie be under the impression that Ava is gonna dance?
That's up to Ava.
Ava would dance the night away if she couldn't.
I think you know that, though. I think you know Ava enjoys just going out.
Yeah. Ava's beginning her way over to Brett, and when that happens, it might be a while.
You have an opportunity to stop her before she gets there.
You do have the opportunity.
I probably am on my way, and then I see her like beelining for Brett, and I'm like, it's gonna be some time. What's going on with Emmy? What is she looking like right now?
Emmy is just like dancing like a crazy person. Like it just looks wild. Like she's spinning, like she's like a little kid, right? So she's like dancing around,
So,
spinning, like just
so weird.
it just is weird,
A kid dancing at the
Yeah.
club.
While there's people thrusting around her.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he's fed, and they seem to be having fun. He's going to take an opportunity to execute some business, and he's going to head to the Chantry to drop off the book and make the exchange.
Sure.
Gonna
Leave
go
us?
without me.
Now, be real to your character, Ava. How long before you think you'd notice Ollie never came back?
Probably a while,
Yeah, that's what I
honestly.
figured.
Ava
Yeah. And I
wouldn't
imagine
notice.
Emmy's lost in the thrill of dancing and the joy, near ecstasy that you feel rushing through you in a way you've never felt in, God, 100 years or so. Ollie makes his way out, pops into the car because you drove, I assume you drove everybody here, so you take in the van, and make your way out to the Chantry. It's the next night, much sooner than they were expecting and asked, because you said you would be here in a few nights. And as you approach the door, and similarly, there's a knocker that you go to reach to knock. After 2 knocks, with less than a second's beat in between, the door cracks open, and you see, actually, for maybe the first time, the same face you saw last time you came here, the individual from last night. And he looks. They look to you with a kind of look of, I wouldn't say confusion, but curiosity, before they say, I thought we said in a couple of nights.
It came a little faster than that.
The eyebrows raise, they step back, and they usher you inside to the plain foyer that leads to a hallway that bends and turns in ways that a house like this shouldn't be able to maintain. And you reach a room that is very familiar to the last one you were in. In fact, it might even be the last one, even if this is not the same way you came.
Right.
But it looks the same. Anyway, you let that brush off. The door shuts behind you, and the individual just turns to you and gives an expectant look, but they don't like reach their hand out and hold it in front of you. They just are waiting for you.
Place the book on the table and slide it like to the middle, and then kind of do the tap on top of the cover.
They reach forward and pull it forward, and before they crack it open to just a random page. Eyes dart down, and there's a look of actual understanding that you have not seen from anybody who's held this book for a long time. Even Nelson had a hard time understanding most of this book. They flip through a few more pages, and they flip back a bunch more pages, and maybe about 2 or 3 minutes pass before they close it, and they nod. I'm still going to need you to come back in 2 days. I'm going to need to verify that this is the actual thing and not some sort of forgery either done by you or by Saito himself without your knowledge. And the rituals for the objects still need to be completed as is.
I would like to be absolutely transparent. It's not a forgery. It's not a copy. None of that can happen, as people I know tried, and it absolutely backfired in hilarious means possible. Saito took extra care to make sure that that wasn't even feasible.
There's a beat for his a nod. Well, that would make sense for a man of his talents. Still, the rituals are not finished yet. We're going to need a couple more nights.
I understand. I would like to open some dialogue, however, before we receive what's coming.
There's silence for you to fill.
My previous relationship with one Sun Chi did not go so smoothly. She seemed to be very self-absorbed and designing something for herself. It was not fortuitous, rather tepid, if I could say so myself. And I would like to... Well, the city has some problems. And that's what I came to Sun for. Because the city has problems, and Saito was working on some of those issues. Now, there's no doubt that Saito was very close to my coterie, the Loud Ones. I think you're aware of that.
Of course. The Loud Ones got their name for a reason.
It's true. We are dealing with, I hesitate to call it a pandemic, if you will. But there seems to be a lingering issue with the shadows in all of Chicago, if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
There's not a look of confusion nor a look of recognition, pure deadpan stoicism.
And I wanted to open that dialogue so you might be able to offer some either assistance or guidance, or maybe to just inform me that I am, just like everyone else, punching up outside of my station, and I should probably bury my head, or if it's an actual concern of the Chantry.
You speak in vagaries, and yes, the city is always on the verge of falling apart. That's why the Tremere are necessary. And speaking
Then
of,
what are the Tremere doing about Eternal Night?
depends on how much you would yourself understand about Eternal Night.
Depends on what you might know about the Umbra and the one who lurks in a really dark place.
I am aware of the legends, yes. I don't think you understand how the Tremere work. Before you cut in and say, oh, I understand you push me away because I'm not one of you, there's a structure. An earned understanding. I am nowhere near the top of that structure. What I know is what I am told I need to know and nothing more, for the safety of the Chantry's secrets and the safety of my own sanity. What I can tell you is that, yes, the Tremere are aware of Umbra and their recent efforts outside of their station. But what those are and what we are doing specifically, I couldn't tell you even if I wanted to. Sybil, however, would be the one you want to speak with about that, and I promise you, you'll likely get nothing from him.
I would like that, even if it's simply to illuminate a dark spot in his vision.
Then I'll make a note tonight. Next time you return, hopefully, I'll have a day where he'd be willing to meet with you.
When you speak with Sybil, just tell him Madison. See if he knows anything about it. And if he knows enough about it, he'll be in contact.
There's a nod. Understood. Is there anything else I can help you with this evening?
I'll be back in a few nights unless I hear from you sooner. You know how to reach me. I'm at the pub always.
And they pick the book, they slide the book in a nearby pocket, and they just simply say as they lead you out, and I appreciate you holding to your word. These secrets are, I imagine, tempting for some to hold on to, but they belong with those who have created them in the first place, and they are home now. That is no mere simple act that the Chantry simply will forget. Your respect, and our respect is given.
Chicago is a map that Saito peppered with various caches of his personal belongings. If I find more, I'll bring it back.
That would be appreciated. And though disappointing, not surprising. He looks like he wants to say something, holds their tongue, shakes their head, and you realize you're at the front door. He opens the door and simply gestures for you to leave.
I'll leave. Not gonna dig, not gonna pry. Respect the privacy.
Door shuts behind you. And where do you head back to? The club or the bar?
I'm gonna head back to the club. It's probably been some time. Time passes weirdly in the Chantry.
Another 2 or 3 hours have gone by. By the time you arrive back, and Ava is probably now just realizing, wait, where's Ollie? It's been a while. And you notice that, Ollie's just stepping back in. And you're like, where's Emmy? Oh, wait, you turn around, you can see her like jumping and spinning and like still going 100%.
Have Emmy, I seem to have lost track of time. Have you seen Ollie?
Isn't that wonderful?
It actually is nice, as a matter of fact. I would agree. But have you seen Ollie?
Yeah, he went out that way with that guy.
Yeah, that was like over an hour ago. Should we be concerned?
You realize, like, you look up and you're like, oh, wait, it's been like 3 hours. And now, and Ollie is you see him walking in now up top where the door leading down.
Oh, okay, good. He's here.
Nothing to be concerned about.
Yeah.
You're such a worrywart.
Well, that's what I've been trained to be worrying because somebody always is disappearing, whether it be Ollie or Dakota or Grant or somebody.
Or your fault.
Yes, of course.
That, imagine kills your desire to dance and you start making your way over to
Yes.
Ollie.
Yes.
You all get together.
I think Emmy just keeps dancing unless she's pulled
So
away.
yeah, just Ava. Ava makes his way over to Ollie.
Yeah.
And you see Ollie, Emmy is still going.
Yeah, Ollie's probably on like the balcony or like the banister above, just kind of leaning over with the arms draped over the top, watching the dancing crowd below.
Well, you've been gone for some time. I seem to have lost track of time.
I knew I had some time to kill, so I hobnobbed, rubbed some elbows.
Yes, I saw you taking some time with Sun. Was it not? How did that go?
A little. He's an interesting cat. He seemed to. He knew a little bit more about me. It kind of took me aback a little bit. He called me Babyface. That was my old boxer name.
Maybe he keeps track of these things.
He also knew that I had some issues with a Lasombra.
I'm sure word has gotten around to the Primogen. It's not completely unknown to many, though a lot of them don't know what really is going on.
He'll probably come by the pub in the next couple of weeks. He said he would like to have a drink and get to know us a bit better.
A Primogen to the Lights Out pub. We should make sure the place is clean.
You'll
Why
be
don't you
seeing
guys
all of
have
them
that
in a
same
week.
kind of energy when Snitch comes through?
Because Snitch is
Go ahead,
not.
say it.
He's not a Primogen. Oh wait, is he?
Snitch is definitely.
Oh shit, he's a Primogen. Oops.
See, constantly we're just we're always being pushed down by those goddamn Toreador, man.
I'm so sorry, Ollie. I will get better at that. I promise.
Not even a Primogen.
It's all right.
He's barely a Primogen.
Look, I wanted to meet Sun because I know that Snitch is still going to lobby for me to be Primogen, and I got to meet the people that I might be working alongside.
Oh, like you're running for council. You have to make face with all the others.
Yeah, and might it's a big tepid might, right? I might have a meeting with Deuceable in a couple of days, maybe a week.
Damn, Ollie. You get to meet all of the big names.
Well, let's not put the cart before the horse.
What are you planning with Deuceable, though?
Chantry's basically full of boogeymen, right? They're these super duper blood sorcerers. What the hell are they doing right now, aside from sitting in the tower acting all high and mighty? They know something's going on, right? They're not stupid.
Well, now that they have Saito's book, they might know a lot more about what's going on, because the stuff that he wrote in that book, the ritual, that's not just some blood magic to like scry on somebody. This is like severing a shadow from the abyss. If they figure out what that is.
There's also notes about the Ava ritual in there, and like the
Oh,
shadow
dear.
attached to you and stuff.
Yes, they'll
They're gonna
probably
learn some things.
Yes, they're gonna catch on to a lot of
Based on
things.
based on initial reads, everybody knows the loud ones, and they know that we're basically we are a permanent fixture in this city. It's going to be easy to it's going to be difficult to try to dispatch us.
Well, good. As it should.
Yeah. Well, this is why I like to rub elbows. Everybody gets to know us, as opposed to formulating their own opinions. They get to see us for what we're worth.
Well, that's good then. I
Hey, what
Let
do you
me-
make a deal of M?
the who? The what? The
Emmy.
of Emmy. I am concerned. I think she has not stopped dancing. Her energy levels are like, I mean, she is just going and going and going.
I mean, she's perpetually hating with kindred. Do we ever get tired?
That's true. But I mean, this is like different. I don't want to think the worst, but
Okay, well, just say it because it's probably.
She must have got a hold of some blood, Fey blood. There's no way.
How could she have done that though?
I don't know. But we know that that her mood the other night was a result of that. And now she's done a complete 180. It likely is also the result of that. But no, I have no idea how she got some. But she's also a very old and powerful kindred, so I wouldn't be surprised if she had some sort of connection that we didn't know. So I don't know what happens when somebody is like long-term drinking this type of blood, what's going to happen to her. In a way, I'm all like, that's why I was like, maybe we can give her some because like it does make things better for her, but I don't know what the long-term effects are here.
Listen, I knew a lot of addicts, and the long-term effects of drug use is generally pretty bad.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, because can we be honest? Like, you didn't get the blood, but you ate bugs, right? You ate fairy bugs.
Yes.
And now look at you. You can't even walk into a junkyard or the junkyard. You fucking float back. You turn into moths and shit.
I can't explain what it is or what it does. But yeah, what happened to Emmy, it's a whole different level from what happened to me. Yeah. So I don't know. I am willing to, I don't know. I don't know what to do about it, really, is what I'm saying. Do we just it's eventually going to wear off and she's going to go back into that sad mode again? Then we'll know for sure that was what happened. She got blood. So I guess we'll just wait.
Hungry. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just wait. And if she goes back to the ultra sad girl Emmy, then we know what happened. So
okay, well, I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. It's not like I got a line on fairies.
No.
All right, well, I mean, I ate tonight. I dropped off the book. I met a primogen, organized a potential another meet with another primogen.
And I danced.
I've accomplished some shit tonight.
Yes, you have.
Only thing I want to do is I just kind of want to check on the cats and Nelson.
All right. Well, I'm ready to get out of here. So I'll grab Emmy and let's go.
Who's going to get Emmy?
I'll go grab Emmy.
You head down
Emmy. It's go time.
And we'll grab Ava's hand.
And I will.
And try to pull her into dance more.
No.
Just a little bit more. Come on, Ava.
Emmy, we've danced quite a lot tonight, and Ollie's ready to go. I'm honestly ready to go too.
Blame Holly.
Holly.
Where are we gonna go? Is it gonna be more fun than this?
We're gonna go stop at the theater. We're gonna go stop at Ollie's Cats, and then we're pretty much done for the night.
That doesn't sound more fun.
We can do more fun things tomorrow.
Promise?
Yes. I promise.
Puts her pinky out.
Okay. Pinky promise.
She kisses the one side of it.
She'll kiss the other side.
You promised.
And then
yes.
Emmy will skip her way over to Ollie.
Are you tired? You tuck her down.
No, not really. It sounds like we have an even more boring day planned.
Huh? Rude. Okay, there's some. You know what? How about this? You ever driven a car?
Have I ever driven a car?
No.
Probably not.
Maybe you've made some people make you drive a car, but like not often.
You wanna learn?
You've never been taught, that's for sure.
All right. You're 8 forever, but first time driving a car. So, come on.
It was like,
Okay, are you sure about this?
What could go wrong?
It's not like
She
you can
crashes?
Die again.
Listen. We all get into a couple of crashes from time to time. If all else fails, you can clean it up, right? You're good at that.
Yeah, sorry, I let my 8-year-old drive.
Maybe we take her to a
Officer.
Target parking lot or something, okay? I don't know.
You can still do accidents in a Target parking lot, but sure, okay, sure. Let's see how this goes.
Well, that's fucking how I was taught. I drive okay, I guess.
Yeah, at probably 16 or 17, right? Not at 8.
I stole my
It might
first
be more
car at
fun
12.
if your goal was just to hit things.
Gosh. All right.
Okay, all right, let's pile in the van.
Are you gonna let her drive? Are you taking her to her parking lot?
Yeah, I'm gonna take her to a parking lot. And you know what? What's my favorite part about this? I'm gonna take her to a parking lot where I can like see like a bodega across the corner because I want to run in, and I'm gonna tell Ava to teach her how to drive first.
Oh.
Okay,
gosh.
is she sitting on someone's lap? She can't see
yeah,
over
we
the
have to get her
steering
a
wheel.
booster seat.
She can't see over the steering wheel at all.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I guess she's going to be sitting on my lap since I'm teaching her. All right. I will get the gas and the brake, Emmy, and you get the steering wheel.
All right, first, Ava, make me an intelligence drive check as you attempt to teach her the best you can.
Oh boy.
One.
I'm not spending willpower on this.
All right, so go ahead, make Maggie have Emmy roll me a dexterity drive, but you're gonna take a whatever amount of successes you roll, you're gonna take -1 to that. So roll it first, and then I'm gonna remove a success, and we'll see how you do. Are you trying to hit anything? Let me ask you
Can I
that.
rouse? Or am I
Yeah,
not?
you're okay. Yeah, you can rouse.
I can try to rouse.
No, you absolutely you can.
Before I wasn't able to.
Oh yeah, today's different though.
Okay. So Dex and you said
Drive.
Dex drive. So I have to
Yep.
click the drive.
Are you trying to hit anything, or are you actually trying to like follow her instructions?
No, I'm trying to follow the
Okay, cool.
instructions. Emmy just thinks it would be more fun if the goal was to hit things.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Can I re-roll or
Yeah, you can spend a
willpower?
willpower and reroll 3.
Okay. I just do okay.
4.
Okay. 4.
She
That's better.
surprisingly is able to follow directions of when you're like, turn left, okay, turn right. Now, great that you kind of have to do the gas because she can't reach, but she's turning all right. And I imagine you have your hands loosely on the bottom of the wheel just in case, but she's doing it. You having her like drive in a circle, like.
Good job, Emmy. You're doing it. I just have her ride around like a big oval.
Yeah. And Ollie, when you come running back out, that's what you see. With whatever you bought in your bag, I imagine, a little plastic bag. You see them doing circles, actually, and not like super fast.
I DM'd you what I got, by the way.
Oh, let me look. Sorry.
Emmy is making like woohoo noises.
Okay. Unless
Yep.
otherwise indicated, I will just enjoy this. He's just going to take in the sights.
You see Ollie, you could hit Ollie. He'd take it. He could take it.
Jesus Christ.
The inner thought.
Yeah.
Hit him.
Ava could hit the brake if she wanted to anyway.
Yeah.
She's like, it's catharsis. It's fine. We're doing 40. It's catharsis.
I do think Emmy would be like,
Go faster, go faster.
Does Ava hit the pedal harder or no?
Slightly faster. Like we go to like from 10 to 15 miles per hour.
Got you. You see Ollie, I imagine you put the brakes on, you let him into the car. Done doing donuts for here. Do you take her off your lap, or are you gonna let her drive you home?
I think Emmy's did a great job driving. Ollie, now you can drive us back home.
I think we
right.
should have gone faster.
Do you want to drive? I'll pedal it, but if you want to drive, you can drive us all the way back.
Okay.
Emmy will try and drive
All
me
right,
back.
all right. Ollie, go ahead. Intelligence drive check. This gonna be a bit hard, difficult role for Emmy, as driving on the roads is a lot harder than driving in a circle in a parking lot.
It's not particularly great for me either. You know what? Can I rouse the blood? I have.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna have
can.
to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, choose nothing.
More hungry.
Ever
Just
so
to drive.
slightly.
Just to drive.
Excellent.
I'll
One
take
success.
any success.
Just like Ava. All right, go ahead and make me that same roll you made me last time. Do you want to rouse the blood again, Emmy?
Yeah, I
Good.
do.
Sweet.
I
You do not
don't
get me
want to
hungry
crash
again.
us. So drive decks.
Yep. 5
Five.
successes.
Ooh.
Jeez.
With 5 successes, what I'll say is usually a dex drive check gets you there shorter, you're a better driver. With 5 successes for you, Emmy, you drive like a normal person. You don't hit anything, you don't make your turns correctly, you don't get there any faster, but you don't get there without hitting a damn thing. And occasionally you get a double take that somebody's like looking over and noticing, but nobody calls the cops. And you make it back to the Lights Out pub with success.
See, we could have gone faster, Ava.
Well, good work, Emmy. We survived.
I think we did better than survive. I still think it'd be more fun if the goal was to hit things.
Maybe we'll
That's-
take you to bumper cars. You might get some joy out of that.
That sounds fun.
You head back into the pub. Do you guys do anything for the rest of the evening, or is it just take it easy for the evening?
I was gonna hit the kitchen
Yep.
and
can
start
go cook.
making a couple of things.
So I was gonna go cook. Ava and Emmy, nothing.
I
Same thing
thought
for
we were
Grant.
going to do something else. I didn't think we're just only going to drive. You listed more things, Ava. I could be dancing right now.
Well, we were going to go check on the cats and Nelson. Those were just going to be quick pit stops,
Well,
though.
you
It's
checked
not a
on
whole.
Nelson. You know, he didn't. Nothing was
Yes.
wrong with Nelson. He's
Cool.
doing things. And same thing with the cats. Right now, nothing's happening with the cats at the moment.
Yes. Sorry,
But yeah, it's
Emmy,
quick. They were quick.
that it wasn't. I did say tomorrow we would do something fun.
All right, fine.
I'm tired, though. I need wine.
yeah,
Ava's like a tired mom already. Like,
yeah. You gonna rouse the
please.
blood so you can drink the wine?
Yeah, you know what I fed tonight. Aw.
Hungry too. But you can
Oh, well.
enjoy a wine. Ollie goes and starts cooking
Ugh.
something up for a while. It takes how long? A few hours? 2 hours? Few hours?
No,
Overnight?
it doesn't
No?
take it doesn't take long at
No?
all. You're like, it will be. I mean, it might take 15 minutes to let it rise, but then you're looking at like another half hour most. So in an
Gotcha.
hour, it'll be done.
So an hour passes, Ollie. Go ahead. What happens? You walk out with what?
Ollie, like it's sort of this dumbfounded thing, right? Like he's definitely playing up the role. He's hamming up a bit. He's like, well, I think I fucked this one up.
What
There's-
is
Did
it?
you now?
I don't
Did
know.
you
You want,
murder the dishwasher?
no, what? No, he's resting in the back. Okay, here, just try it. And I don't know, it's not what I thought of it. And like he takes out this like bunt pan and flexibly breaks it onto a like a cutting board with a knife there, and there is fresh banana bread.
Oh.
And it smells damn good.
Smells good, but I think Emmy will breathe it in. Then there's an overwhelming sadness, and she just starts crying. I don't know if I can cry.
Yeah, you cried bloody tears.
Okay. Just blood comes out of her eyes.
Yeah, you see. Yeah. And she starts sobbing.
Just not what I thought was going to happen.
Emmy? Are you all right?
No, I'm not.
Did she like
Um,
collapse? Does
Look
any,
like
like,
I'm okay, Ava.
I'm sorry. I thought that you would you said the other night you wanted banana bread.
Yeah, I do, but I can't eat it because I'm dead.
But you could.
No,
Actually,
you
you-
understand I can't.
Yeah, actually, I don't think you
Never
can.
will. Refuse.
Mhm.
Never can.
Because of Emmy's age and blood potency, I don't think she can eat.
what's her blood
food.
potency?
Three?
3, I think.
3?
I think she's
Yeah, I
still,
don't think I can.
no?
I think
Is
it's a matter of its humanity.
Yeah, your
it's a matter of
humanity, I think,
humanity.
is what prevents it. What's your humanity at?
Yeah.
4 or 5?
4.
Let me check real quick.
I think you have to be 6.
I think so, yeah.
It's either 5 or 6. I think it might be 5. I
Let me
think
check.
yeah, I think it might be 5.
I think when I looked it up, I couldn't eat anything.
Yeah,
Because
I
it
think
came
you're
up
right.
before when
but-
someone tried to give me some food.
No one in the, yeah, it's like, it's something that comes up, but it's not like super, like, on top of people's heads. Okay, here we go. You can no longer, yeah, it's literally humanity 4. You can no longer keep food, drink down with
I was
Blush
like,
of
I
Life.
remember it coming up before, and I looked it up, and I was like, because I was like, ooh, Emmy would try it. Oh, I can. I looked it up.
Yep, you cannot. Your humanity is too low. And yeah, that would send you with what's happening with you right now.
Yeah,
it would
that's
send
why
you into a horrible, sad spot. That's just like intense. And you watch her drop to the ground, quivering as she's sobbing. That wasn't what
Ollie
Grant's
probably
like,
instinctively, like, I think the dad kind of kicks in him. Like,
Yeah.
he had a little kid.
Oh yeah, you're used to this kind of thing.
So like he immediately throws his body into the seat and he's like, "Hey man, hey, calm down. It's okay.
You trying to be calm? I
Let's take it slow. You can't eat it, right? Can you smell it?
can't. Yeah. It smells so good and I can't eat it.
Does it smell right? Does it smell wrong?
does it smell right?
It smells good. It doesn't smell like your mom's, but it smells like fucking delicious banana bread. Your mom's always came.
Also,
It had like
but
a.
it's not as good as my mom's. My mom's is so much better.
It's my first loaf. It's
Grant comes waddling over. Hey! You want me to describe what it tastes like while I eat it?
No.
What would your mom do differently?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay, well, I know this happened too. Didn't this happen to you too, Ava, where you couldn't taste things? It was really bad for a while.
Yeah, it was.
And then you got it back, right?
Yeah, I did.
Could use more cinnamon, but it's good.
Mm,
Okay, I can work on that. But maybe we can try to figure out a way to get you back to trying things.
You think so?
Yeah, of course. What do you mean?
I don't think so. I've never had to eat food in a long time. I miss it.
Okay, well, look, I'm trying to change some things, okay? And you were probably most definitely 100% a catalyst for some of those things, but just because you can't taste it now doesn't mean you can't taste it forever. And, I'm trying to do right by you. Don't ask me why, because it doesn't make sense to my brain, but I don't know. I feel like you've been 8 for so long, and I think you could afford to just be treated like an adult for a little while. And I just want to remind you of things that made you happy.
She just keeps crying.
And like put the arm over the top of her. It's all right, man.
Grant awkwardly kind of saddles up next to Ava. What should I do?
I don't think there's much we can do.
He pushes the banana bread over. Just eat that. Eat it.
Okay. And he just immediately just like, I don't know, starts fucking shoveling it down his throat. And as you pat our back and like a camera pans back, we can fade to black and go to break as it's just 5 o'clock. So we'll be back in a few minutes, everybody. Don't go anywhere.
I'm sorry, but
Okay, hello. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hey, how's it going? Sorry, my mic was not unmuting. I had to figure that shit out. Thank you for waiting. I hope you guys enjoyed your break. We're going to be jumping kind of right back in. I want to ask, is there anything else you guys want to do in the night? Or do we just jump to the next day? The night that where you got back from the club, banana bread.
I'm crying a mess right now.
You're crying, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm having a tantrum.
Nothing happens. That's totally
Yeah, I don't
fine.
think so.
Next evening, rouse checks. To wake up.
Oh.
Emmy's at hunger 1, no big deal. Did I see? Oh, sorry, I didn't see your bubs. My bad. Okay, so you guys are good on the rolls.
Oh wait, I can roll again.
Oh, yes, you can.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I still gain 1.
That's fine.
Anyway.
I
keep forgetting I can roll twice.
Emmy, today you feel good still. Maybe not quite the peaks of yesterday, maybe not quite the highs of yesterday. Still feeling pretty good. I'd say everything I said to you before, if you were operating at an 11, you bring it down to like an 8, essentially. But yeah, you're still riding a high. You still feel pretty good. You still feel, you don't feel that sad as much as you slept through the morning, and you've had kind of time to hopefully get over the banana bread stuff.
Just don't bring up the banana bread again.
Yeah. But I imagine everybody's going to congregate at the Lights Out pub.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do so. Ava?
Nope. I will be at the pub.
Okay, cool. That's all you were about to like, not me.
No.
All right, yeah, so you all congregate in the Lights Out pub. Emmy is chipper today as well. You might not notice the difference, but yeah, she's still feeling good. And Grant's there as well. They have a new dishwasher tonight.
Poor boy. Poor boy. Emmy, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. Ava, how are you?
I'm just checking. Make sure you're still in good spirits.
Okay. So, what's the fun thing you have planned for us?
Well,
Ollie's just prepping still right now. He's just listening to the
I'm
conversation.
He's listening.
Yeah.
I've been talking about it all morning.
It's kind of like, I feel like it's like one of the parents that are just like waiting for the kids to fuck up.
yeah. Well, Emmy, I was thinking, remember when Nelson was going through all of the ritual stuff, and then he gave me a key.
Yeah, with the creepy monkey paw.
Yes, with the creepy monkey paw. And I had the vision about the key, and I saw that the key looked like had a door in the vision. That was a very familiar door to that I've seen in Madison. A door that I think I know where it is. And I would like to see if there's more things we can learn from that place and that door to figure
Can
out.
we go to Madison? I thought we weren't going to do that for a while.
We weren't planning on it, but maybe we can get there faster than we normally do. I was wondering, Ollie,
who's stopped washing but is just holding the dish in his hand.
If I don't move, they might not see me.
Ollie, remember that time we figured out that the labyrinth is somehow connected to Madison?
Yeah.
I was wondering if maybe we could explore that further.
Oh.
Like, figure out, you're, the labyrinth king.
Oh, it's weird when you need the labyrinth. I'm the labyrinth king, but when you don't need it, it's a labyrinth relationship.
Yes. Well, I still think it's a weird relationship that you have with the labyrinth, but
I think it's a weird relationship that you have with everything. I don't call that into question every day.
You do, actually. As a matter of fact, you do. So there we go.
Now we're going to be relentless.
I was just wondering, perhaps we can tonight take a little trip to the labyrinth and see if we can figure out a way to get to Madison faster, so we don't have to, go by car, and it's like 4 to 5 hour drive, and it's like a whole thing. We have a direct line. And we're going to have to be there, like Emmy said, more than once. We're going to have to go back there at some point, probably multiple times at this point. As much as to Dakota's behest, we're going to have to go back to Madison more than once. So maybe we can figure out how to get there faster.
I did have fun the last time we were in the labyrinth.
See, that's a fun thing to do for Emmy. And then a fun thing to do for Ava is to get to that door.
I don't know if I can get there. I know, I mean, I could probably try to find someone that can get us there.
By find somebody who can get us there.
I mean, I could probably ask for some help from Snitch.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Well, that could be an option. I mean, isn't Snitch like lining you up to be the next keeper of the labyrinth anyway? Shouldn't this be like a good training course for you with him or something?
Maybe. I don't know. It's not that simple. It's not like it's a couple of hallways. It moves, man. It Look, we can go, just don't be surprised if something fucked up happens.
Fine. I'm
Like those
used to that.
whites.
I mean, that could be something. But, we already know that the labyrinth kind of butts up against something darker. Like there's something more at play, right? It's not our first time figuring that out. Hell, we got lost down there and found our way to the cabin through that place.
Yes.
So, it's something more than that. But yeah, I mean,
And you think
it's
that you
early.
can talk to Snitch through the labyrinth
I think I'm going to have to go to Snitch.
first?
Where does Snitch keep himself these nights?
What does he have to do with the whites down there? I feel
He
like he
avoids
has
them.
something.
He avoids them. I mean, if I had to make a guess, they're probably people that he left down there.
Yeah. I don't think he's avoiding them for no reason.
Well, I think if they reach that part of their life or their unlife, I don't think they care that much anymore because anything that's moving is a snack. So yeah, we can go. It's early. I did all the pre-prep before I went to bed last night, so it's not a problem. Grant should have things under control as long as you don't go eating help again.
I kind of like the rule, though. Anything that's moving is a snack.
It's not a good rule. It's not.
Why not?
Because I have legs. I am not a snack.
To someone you might be.
No. Let's. Well, I mean, are you good? Are you good to go? Can you want to go right now?
Yes, let me grab a few things. My ring and my key. And now that those are my only two things that I have, because the book is gone.
Wait, why are you bringing the key?
Just in case we need it. I don't know. I mean, the door might be. I don't know. I'm bringing it just in case. I don't necessarily want to use it if we can just access the door. But what if the door is locked? Ooh, just hit my microphone. What if the door is locked?
What if door is not really something I'm looking forward to, but I suppose you have a great point. But what if door? What then? Are you going to open it?
I'm not sure. I don't
What
know.
if the key only works once?
That's my worry. And I don't know. Unlike Dakota, I'm not a planner. I'm an act on my feelings in the moment kind of person. So I am going to wait to see how I feel in the moment.
Okay.
That is 100% how Ava does everything. It is literally just a feeling, how she feels. And so I am going to see how I feel.
Well, what's the worst that could happen? Dakota's not here to swat down the idea.
You're right.
This is the voice of Dakota somewhere in the city. No!
she's gonna be mad.
All right, come on.
So you're heading to the church?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? I apologize. I was reading. I'm reading rules. Emmy's went with you once, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the first time she's been down there, but she hasn't been to the church, I don't think, right?
Correct. She's not been to the church.
Yeah. So, out of curiosity, do you give her any prep of like what you're about to walk into, like where you're about to go? You don't have to. I'm just curious.
You know, I ask what she knows about Snitch. First and foremost, what do you know about Snitch?
I mean, what most people know about him. I mean, he's a fucking, and everything that you've learned with the coterie, but just a fucking Nosferatu primogen who just knows everything and it seems to be everywhere.
He's staunch. He's very stoic. He has a lot of personal motivations, and he did what he did to save the city for at least the clan. He's worked pretty closely with Jackson for a number of years, and it seems like he is on the right side because burying your head means the wrong side comes to fruition. He's done some bad things, and I think he's done it for a noble reason, but they've been bad regardless. Don't be surprised if you wind up being very confused by the building that we're going to. It's a church.
Why would I be confused?
It kind of looks to Ava. Let's just say it's bigger on the inside.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah. So don't wander off alone. Please.
That did happen to me once, and it didn't end great.
We all got separated once, I think. Remember?
That's true. Actually, yes.
Why did you wander off alone?
I don't remember. I don't think it was intentional.
We didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Wait,
The Labyrinth-
didn't have a choice.
The Labyrinth is, I've said this the entire time, the Labyrinth is alive. I know it's hard to believe, but it acts according to the way that it wants to.
Sometimes it feels a certain way, and it'll make us separated, or it'll throw whites at
Kind of
us.
like you, Ava.
Yeah, you know what? That is kind of like me.
Oh, maybe that's why you're so catty then. Let's just go. I don't want. He doesn't want to think too much about it, like, oh no. He'll take you to the entrance in the actual pub, just before his small like cot-like room.
Yeah. You slide into the labyrinth, and this is where you took Emmy in, I think, the last time around. Yeah. Walking through the labyrinth is a very familiar thing for you. It's not, terribly uncommon. For Emmy, however, it's been a while, I think a couple months at least, since you were down here with Ollie, maybe a little longer. And it's a reminder of how bizarre this place is. It's a symphony of like shadow and silence dancing together. The subterranean features of this place consistently shift, never seemingly the same thing as the last time you were around here. But for Emmy, this would all look new regardless. And with each twist and turn, moss-slicked stone walls will eventually give way to smooth concrete tunnels where the grassy undertexture that you're walking on that turns to mud, then rock, and then eventually some old inlaid brick that doesn't seem to match any of the concrete walls. And you walk for probably a good 20 or so minutes before this plain concrete tunnel eventually spits you out where it seems to always spit you out when you're attempting to find Snitch in the church. The open, destroyed front area of the church, and the church that has seen better days, crumbled from the outside. Emmy, give me a intelligence, intelligence academics.
Mm-hmm.
4. You recognize this church. You remember this church. This is the 50s-ish. And this is the church where you had heard you were not kicked out of the Camarilla quite yet, but there was a huge fight between Kindred and Lupine here. You don't know the details. You were not really all that ingratiated at that point yet. You were still working on it. But you remember this place, and you remember hearing about the rumors of the huge bloody battle. And honestly, you didn't realize that it had sunken underground. But old parts of Chicago tend to sit under Chicago, actually, now that I think about it. So, no, it's not super surprising. They just built over it. That's all.
Oh,
You
I
recognize
remember
it.
this
Sorry.
place.
Yeah.
Emmy says. And she like kind of spins around and she's like looking around and like touching stuff.
You walk up to the church, Ollie, probably leading. You don't tell him, I mean, to stop, I imagine. And you wait there for a bit. Much like every time you arrive, there's nobody here right now. At least nobody visibly here. Unless anybody wants to use powers or make active checks to see if they can see anybody invisibly. You don't really see anything at the moment. Do you, how long are you willing to wait, Ollie? Or do you even, do you let everybody know?
He's gonna kind of look around for a rat.
Oh, sure. Give me a wit survival check.
And while Ollie's looking around, Emmy's like kind of telling the story of what happened there.
Yeah, and you're probably telling the most common story that they were kindred here holding a meeting. They were, I think they were prepping for something within the Camarilla, maybe to help somebody out. And then the Lupine had gotten whiff of it and took the opportunity to rip everybody apart here. And very important people were lost that day.
One.
Sorry, one.
Success.
I mean, it takes a few minutes, but you don't find a rat, but you do see a fat possum waddling around in the darkness a bit distance off. Its eyes kind of glare back at you.
Possums are awesome.
I would sense the unseen at this point.
It's free?
Yes, it is free.
Okay, and it says, does it add anything to your roll, or does it just allow you to see them by making wits awareness rolls?
It's a resolve aspects.
Cool. Make me a resolve aspects roll. Okay, you did. Go ahead and make, if you want to willpower, you may.
Yeah, I have a lot of dice, so let's willpower re-roll 3 of those.
I got to roll 2.
5 total.
Nice. Hey, you actually see they're approaching. However, they are not visible in the way that you know them to be, in that you keep catching a glimpse of them, Ava, and it's almost like you forget that they're there. But you focus and call upon your blood to keep your eyes focused in a certain spot, and you force yourself to stop trying to avert your eyes. And when you do see Snitch using obfuscate, which isn't true invisibility, but simply tricking the mind to forget that they were there. As he walks calmly and approaches you, he's probably like a good 30 feet off at the back end of the church on the outside, making his way toward you.
Oh, he is here. Looks like he's heading over here.
Ollie will kind of call out, Snitch.
You blink and suddenly he's there where Ava saw him, and he's still walking. He's maybe 20 feet away now. He approaches, but again, when he arrives, he doesn't say anything. You called him out his name, so he arrives and looks to you in the eye with his decrepit hands and his sunken eyes.
It's been a little while. How you feeling?
Fine. How can I help you, Butcher? Or
Been
no, he would
catching
call you
wind?
Mr. Hopkins or Ollie. Sorry.
Been catching wind on things above the streets.
He nods.
So then you probably know that it's moving. Things it's gonna get disturbing soon, I think.
A storm is coming. Yes.
Is that why you're hiding underneath here?
He gives a he kind of looks past Ollie, and he sees Emmy, and he's the would-be child queen.
Ah, Snitch.
He gestures. Hiding isn't quite what maintaining this place is without me.
This is maintaining to you?
Are the Chicago streets running with whites?
No.
Thankfully not.
He just lets the nope sit in the air.
Are you eating them?
He lets that.
What do they taste like?
He as the questions keep slipping through, he doesn't answer, but his eyes go to Ollie and they don't leave Ollie's.
I'm sure you've noticed that the white population has dropped.
He seems to just be waiting for you to get to your point.
Been exercising some stress. Call it a bit of an exorcism of sorts.
Whatever you do to keep composure of your beast is your business.
Yeah, well, it's probably been a lot easier to maintain recently. But look, it's neither here nor there. It's not what I'm here for. I need some help, need some guidance, and I've got no one else to turn to. I think you're the guy for the job. I need to find a leg over to Madison through the labyrinth.
He pauses but nods. Ah, then yes, you will need my help.
I'd really like to know some of the other symbols, the signs.
He does no hesitation. He nods along with you. If you are to take my place.
Yes. I started rubbing elbows with the council above. Recently met Sun, the Malkavian Primogen.
He nods.
What are your thoughts on him?
None that are important or hold any matter over the emergency at hand.
How about Deuceable?
He's a Tremere. You can trust him about as well as you can do magic yourself.
That's fair. Well, Jackson seems to still maintain his position, and at least he is on his way. And Cretius will... Well, we don't exactly see eye to eye on everything, but he hasn't killed me yet, so that's something.
He kind of just let that roll over in the silence again before he interjects a bit. Is there anything else you think I need updating on?
Yeah, Snitch, how long were you going to hold out on me that Rudy's not Rudy?
Ooh.
Give me a wits insight.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good roll for me. I'm going to rouse the blood on this one.
Please do.
It's-
Hunga 3.
Yeah. 5 successes.
You could reroll 1. Your call.
I'll keep 5.
Okay. With 5, when you say that to him, there's a genuine look of confusion.
Oh, you know, like Rudy's not his real name.
Most have assumed identities, if that's what you were getting at.
Sure, but we knew for a long time now that Rudy's not a Nas. He's a Lasombra.
Yes,
But
I
that
am
Rudy's old. Like, really old. Like Cretius old.
And with 5 successes, again, I won't have you roll. They're surprised.
I don't think he. Did you know this, Snitch?
There's again another beat or two of silence before he just shakes his head subtly, not in like a disappointed, sad way, but just, I was not aware.
We have reason to believe that Rudy formerly went by the moniker and title Montano.
The confusion, or the surprise turns to concern.
Yeah, it's something that's kind of hit us recently as well. We had many of the same face.
I have a lot to think on tonight. But first, you wish to get to Madison.
Yeah, that would be great.
I will teach you.
Ooh.
Please.
He turns and walks. You, I imagine, follow, as does Ava and Emmy. He never goes inside the church.
Exciting.
What does Emmy say?
Exciting.
Ollie's gonna take a pause,
Sure.
and he's gonna like kind of hand on the shoulder Snitch, not hard, but just enough to kind of like get his attention.
Sure.
Snitch, something's gonna come up because we think she's in Madison, and there's a strong chance that we're gonna need to be feet on the street, but we're gonna need some sort of expeditionary force in the labyrinth. If that happens, are you capable of guiding them? Are you willing to even try to guide them?
He, without hesitation, nods. I'll do what I must do.
I think it's going to mean far more than just saving Kindred. I think it's going to be pertinent to the success in the continuation of the Nosferatu in this city.
And those within our clan will be in your hands. You will not always have myself to look to and ask if your plans are sound.
I know, but while you're here, I'm gonna exhaust that shiny bald ass head of yours.
There's no smirk, no look of anything. The stoic glare continues. And he,
Come on, you're like the teacher here.
to that, he reaches out his left hand, not to reach out for you, but actually to drag his fingertips along the wall. As the concrete begins to give way to more layered brick, and the straight walk quickly becomes one of twists and turns. leaving behind the church. But you never losing sight of each other. You know the system by now. Don't ever allow eyes off of each other.
Yeah.
And so you walk for a while and you're like, come on, trying to get him to chuckle. Of course, he is Snitch and he does not. He continues to move, however. And as you go deeper and deeper into the labyrinth itself, you yourself, Ollie, are being brought into areas that are well beyond anything you have seen before. While you had assumptions that the labyrinth was some sort of living entity, now you begin to get confirmation. Snitch, keeping his hand, dragging his fingertips along the sides of the wall, looks to you and gestures for you to follow his lead in doing so.
I'll extend my hand and follow the same line.
And as he continues to walk, he begins to mutter to himself, but just loud enough for you to hear. Chicago is a living thing. A city filled with mortals moving through their days like blood through veins. The labyrinth is a more accurate representation of such a thing. Close your eyes while you walk. Don't trust your ears. Do not take in the smells. Feel. Let your fingers feel and guide you. Do you follow his instructions?
Yeah, but with like the other hand, he's kind of like to the ladies, just like, come on, like get close, doing the hand motion.
Sure. And so you bringing your own fingertips up against the wall. That's now a weird mix of patchwork brick and then vines and dirt with roots of grass creeping through the cracks where it can, desperate to reclaim this little piece of man-made building that's stuck down here. And as you do, can you make me a roll of a wits occult?
Okay.
Would you like to arouse or anything? You're at hunger 3, so you risk going to hunger 4.
Ooh, yeah.
I got 2 successes.
2.
I want to make that roll.
Do you the two of you also like follow suit? Do you try to like do it as well?
Yeah. I'm following.
Emmy
yeah.
clearly is, and you are as well, Ava.
I suppose.
Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's going to be a little bit of a different difficulty roll for you because you haven't had the lessons leading up to this. But you're welcome to make me a wits occult roll. Ava, you in particular
Browse for this one.
would be welcome to use an Auspex ability if you wanted to, but you understand the risk of what that can do sometimes. You realize what it can do, but I'm sure it's a thought.
Yeah, I kind of like that thought.
Ooh, 8.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful. I'll get to that
Emmy.
in a second.
That's why I was like, I want to make that roll.
No,
How much do you have
honestly,
in
for Emmy in
occult?
particular, it kind
I
of makes
have
sense with what's going
2
on
in
with you.
occult.
Oh.
Also roused.
Yep.
I
Okay.
roused, yeah.
Um,
Now that I can rouse again. I don't know how long.
I'm trying to think like what, you know what? For now, I think I'm just going to wits and occult,
Sure, that's fine. Absolutely.
and see what this leads to. Ooh, wow,
Bestial failure.
that's 2 skulls on the hunger
Oh,
dice.
fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay, hang on a second.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Oh god.
I
Ava,
was just looking
always
something
hungry.
up too. God damn, that's a interesting roll.
Ava lives on the edge of being hangry.
I live life on the edge, truly, all the time.
You do.
Ava's so messy. I love it.
It is. Ava is absolutely messy. So before we get to that, Ollie, you press your kind of pale, clammy hand up against the rough, damp wall of the labyrinth, and you take a moment to just try and focus. Allow yourself to give way to the surrounding echoes of distant screams of whatever bizarre creature or white might be way out there, to the smells of the tangy earth that seems to permeate everywhere you walk, but it's a lot. And while you can get into a place of zen when you fight, this is different. Trying to put away the awareness, put away the paranoia is hard. And what you feel is the cold wall, the dirt between your fingertips, and the smell of earth in your nose. Nothing more than that. But for, well, how many successes did you roll, Ava? You said you bestial failed. Sorry.
Yep.
Emmy rolled like 8 or 9. Emmy,
Yes, 8.
Yep.
Emmy, you place your hand up against it. It's almost instantaneous. especially at this moment where life courses through you, where you feel more mortal than you ever have. As you place your fingers on the dirt, you can feel a dull but consistent pulse or throb from the wall itself.
I think Emmy puts her face on it.
And you mash your face against it and you're like trying to maybe get more. And the more you listen, the more it's similar of a heartbeat. It is the rest of the labyrinth sounds and smells and noise fades for you, Emmy. All you hear is that deep echoing. Dunk, 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 dunk. And you can feel, like I said, just barely in the walls itself.
Yeah, I think when Stitch says like the labyrinth is alive, Emmy's like,
It is alive.
Ollie, as you look back to Emmy, and you see her like actually doing it, and you can make me one more check, Ollie.
Sure.
But this is the last one for this part of the lesson. Meanwhile, Ava, did you roll to use an ability or did you?
No, I just rolled to see. Yeah, to do.
you
Yeah,
just did a call to wits.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's weird. There's supposed to be one more on there.
It's fine.
So 3 successes. One more than previous.
Well, while you may not feel or even hear the thumping, you are able to at least focus enough to get your shit and like to kind of hone in to to feel a very, very subtle, what you feel to be, again, a rhythmic beating. And then the more you let it go through your fingertips, the more you realize not only is it a heartbeat, but you can almost feel like the direction which whatever, like blood would be pumping, almost like the way the wall ripples. But it's very, very subtle. Ava, you touch the wall. And the moment you do, your eyes go pitch white. And you are ripped from where you stand. Not physically. But you're not dropped into a dark abyss. You're not brought to a place of where you see a city and a giant gaping hole in the ground. It's pure white. And all you hear is a blood-piercing scream. Agony. Never-ending. You feel it seep into your skin. You begin to feel it in your bones. And you, too, begin to feel nothing but burning pain ripping through your veins. I need a resolve composure check.
Boy. Okay.
This is when premonition gets used without you wanting it to, and it's free.
Ooh.
2, you are unable to stop the feeling of the pain before it overtakes you, climbs into your neck, crawling up your jaw, and then fills your mind, almost an excruciating headache that seems to just want to explode out of your skull just to escape the pressure. And when you feel like you hear that screaming gets just a little louder, and you might hear the bones, your very own flesh, crack and break, you snap open your eyes. They fade back to normal, and you collapse down to your knees. You all obviously see Ava touch the wall, and then in about 2 seconds worth, she and she just collapses down.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey, are you all right?
I don't know what I just saw, but it was not. It really hurt.
You did. Ava used her powers? That's not what you asked her to do.
I was just following what Snitch was saying, and I was trying to feel the wall, and I felt sharp, agonizing pain, and I don't want to feel that anymore.
I
don't
don't
know.
feel pain. I feel like something's alive.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah, you didn't take any damage. You're good.
I'm all right. I'm just gonna keep to myself.
Maybe not touch the walls.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Emmy's face is now, she got both hands. She's like
Yeah.
faced up, and you're just like, you swear
dragging
you swear you might even feel a little warmth, but that could just be you going crazy.
It feels warm now.
Do I have to carry both of you? What is going on? Are you on drugs?
We're just
Emmy,
this
are you
this
on
pla-
drugs?
No. Can't you feel it? It's alive.
You can feel it, Ollie. You do feel that subtle, rhythmic thumping, but you move forward. Snitch saying nothing to what just happened at all. Lets it just happen. And as he walks, he continues his lesson after a few more minutes before, when he says rather, now, when you can feel, connect, you simply need to let it know where you wish to go and trust it to lead you. And trust it to lead you. And you wish to head to Madison.
Yeah.
Ollie, make me one more wits occult.
All right.
I would ask for Emmy, but this is something you can't do, Emmy, because he this is imploring a destination is something that only a few can like attempt.
2 successes.
2 successes, but you in your mind, you simply you put Madison. Probably think of Matthew's house, a place you're most familiar with, and you just wish, not wish, but that's where you're asking or perhaps requesting Labyrinth to take you. And after a few moments, you walk a little further, and this singular path immediately separates into 4. One seems to U-turn and loop back, but not an exact 90 degrees or 180 degrees, but just a little bit off, leading into a different direction. 2 snake off to the left, while one of them veers further and further to the left the longer it goes, and then you continue straight. In this moment, as you roll 2 successes, you take a minute and you stop. And you sit there for a good 30 seconds. Snitch doesn't say anything. And in fact, if Ava or Emmy look to make any noise, Snitch kind of looks in that direction, puts his hand up to allow Ollie that silence, the ability to truly let himself focus. And Ollie, as you feel it, you do begin to feel almost as a direction or a flow. The wall itself almost ripples in a way only the senses of a kindred could feel, or that of any supernatural. The wall does seem to have a minor amount of movement to it. And as you take a few steps to follow it, you actually are able to guide it and follow it down one of the paths, that being the one that goes left and then continues to veer further and further left the further it goes. It seems to be moving in a particular direction. Would Ollie say anything? Would he follow it? Would he, when he begins to realize?
He just follows. I think he's just going to kind of follow it.
When he does, the Snitch looks to the 2 of you and nods and begins to follow Oliver. And Ollie, as you get further and further away now from the heart of what I would consider the labyrinth, as you work your way toward the center and now out the other side, you begin to, the labyrinth's mishmash rather, of both earthen and man-made structures within the tunnels themselves begin to completely give way to just pure earthen before it gets narrower and narrower and narrower until you get to a point where there's seems a crack in the wall that you could barely fit yourself through if you tried, leading to what you can hear is running water of local sewerage, likely in likely in Madison, where you were hoping to go.
What does Snitch say?
He doesn't say anything, which might be exactly what you want. He didn't correct you. He didn't tell you you're doing it wrong. He simply followed.
I kind of look to him for confirmation.
He just gives you a nod, but no words or doesn't say anything vocally. Just a nod of approval, one that you've seen many a time from him.
Okay. Before he goes, I'll tell him after you've ruminated on the Rudy bed, come tell me what you think.
He again kind of gives you just that classic Snitch subtle nod, and he says, I will.
Okay. Then I motion to the others. I think we're here.
As you say that, Snitch walks away. And as soon as he walks past all of your visions, the moment you're no longer looking is the moment you lose sight of him.
Yeah, I think Emmy just says, bye, Snitch. And then she goes, bye, Labyrinth.
You just hear a distant David Bowie voice somewhere in the distance.
Dance, magic dance.
And as you look, you start Dex Athletics to squeeze through, unless there's a conversation that you want to have.
I don't think there's going to be much of anything else. He's just going to try to weasel his way through this. It's probably easier for them, but for him, it's
yeah. For Emmy,
Probably
doesn't have to.
really
Emmy
easy
doesn't.
for me.
Emmy doesn't have to roll. I was going to say.
Emmy will kiss the wall.
Yeah. Goodbye, Labyrinth.
Yeah.
I got a whopping 1 success.
Ollie gets stuck like Pooh Bear.
Takes you a minute, but you roll a success, so it takes you. You do get wedged for a hot second, but you are able to force your way out.
He's probably like, this is how I die.
No.
Forever entombed right at the entrance. But you squeeze through, and as you make your way over to the nearest manhole, and you little signs underneath inside the sewerage itself give way to letting you know you are in fact within Madison.
Okay. Once we exit into the sewer itself, I am gonna mark a brick.
Ooh.
It's something I haven't done this yet. I haven't really started making my own symbol or sign. So
do you want to use the one that Snitch showed you, or are you making your own?
I'm gonna make my own.
Do you know what it looks like to you?
Yeah, it's gonna be the it's gonna be the mask. So it's the smile with like jagged teeth on the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Oh, yeah. I won't make you roll for like that. That's pretty easy to do. So that's like, I like it. Is it obvious to say the coterie what it would be if they were looking at it, or is it?
I think if they saw it or felt it, it would be pretty clear because it's just like it's like the crescent, and then like underneath it's the jagged for the teeth. So if they remember the mask, they probably remember.
Are we all making drawings?
It's a mark. So I know how to find this again later.
Oh, so I don't get to do one.
I mean, you could do one, but what would your sign even be?
Emmy goes over there and she draws a little bow next to his mask face.
Cute.
Ava? Ava's like squeezing through already. She's like, right. I'm not like walking away already.
Yeah. Are you guys done?
You don't want to draw something, Ava?
What should I draw? I just draw a flower. Not a rose, but another type of flower. I don't know what, like a daisy or something.
Really glad Grant's not here.
It would
Just
be
a dick on the wall.
You would just draw, yeah.
But it'd be dick and balls for sure. With a little bit, he put the details of little strawy hairs. That's what he would do. He'd take real pride in it. He's practiced that over the course of like 30 years.
And the little jots of stuff.
Yeah, of
coming
course.
out
Yeah,
of
you gotta
it.
have a little liquid happening.
Yeah.
You know, damn,
Classy.
if only he was here. Maybe in the world where Ollie also frenzied for some, like Ava is dead, Emmy's dead. It's Ollie and Grant. They're down here, and that's what he's doing. Okay, so you step out, and again, you quickly realize you are in fact in Madison, and there's a manhole not too far away that pulls you up to a street that you would recognize as kind of being on the outskirts, probably closer to Matthew's home than further away, as he lived in the suburban area, and that's where it kind of pops you out.
Yeah.
Are you guys heading straight there? Are you having any conversation beforehand? Is there any like, what are we gonna do?
I think Emmy might say something for sure. But go ahead, Tracy.
I was just gonna say, it worked. Good job. I don't know how that really all came to be, but I am glad that actually worked.
Yeah, it surprised me too. We had the Labyrinth and I had a real coming to Jesus moment.
Did it talk to you? I could only hear its heartbeat.
You know,
You heard its heart.
it's all right. It's all right. It's weird. If Ava and Ava now knows, if Dakota learns that it's actually alive and that has a heartbeat, I will never hear the fucking end of it.
Oh, what did she say?
That I'm dating it. We're in a bizarre relationship.
Are you?
No, it's a hallway.
There
So?
is a connection there for sure between Ollie and the Labyrinth.
I felt a connection too.
Wow. Look at that.
Sometimes I hate both of you.
Well, we're here. So
What's the plan now? This was pretty fun so far.
Ollie, you know the way to Matthews, right?
Yeah.
Let's go there.
Okay, before we go though, can we just be honest for a minute? I feel like we're gonna get there, and then the you train of thinking that you might use the key is gonna turn into the you did use the key.
And
what's my reading? Am I hot or cold right now?
you're pretty. I would say you're on point. I'm not. I'm going to see if we can open the door. But we came all the way here. So if the door can't be opened, I'm going to use that key and see what's behind there. We need to learn about this Queen Ananasa and the Umbra. And I think this is going to give us those answers. And we can figure out what the backup plan to this ritual is, like what it entails, and get a better idea, get a better sense of that. And if we need to use it, we'll at least know what we're getting ourselves into.
You know, I kind of like having Dakota around. Because she's so incredibly grounded. And she looks for consequences. If I turned right now to Emmy for some sort of backup in this, it would just go so far south because she is your biggest hype man right now.
Yes, she is.
Why?
She wants...
Hello, I'm here. You're talking about me like I'm not here.
I know, this is
Also,
why you can
I kind of know who
retort.
Queen Ananasa is.
And you're not at all excited. You don't want to do this at all.
Okay, I'm still excited about
Oh,
it.
that's what I thought. See?
I mean, it's different. It's new. Don't you want to see stuff?
Well, what, okay.
You can't live in fear for your whole life.
This queen Anansi, whatever, is... What if she's just not so welcome to the idea of a kindred rolling up in her house?
He's the god of life.
And we're
blooming
dead.
And fertility.
And we're dead, and we can't have babies.
Queen Ananasa.
Aren't we sort of the antithesis
Don't
of what she's
remind
about?
us.
Okay. Yes, let's not go down that route again.
I don't know. I'm trying to look this in the face and see a possibility here. Like I see the route that it's going. I just want to posit the idea that this could be really bad.
You want to see the idea of the negative side of things, never the positive.
It's a matter of what this queen has to offer and what their relation is to the ritual and Sybil. That's all we're trying to figure out, because Nelson couldn't figure it out during his studies. So we're going to figure out what this all means.
Well, clearly, based on what Nelson said, it's so that we can get more power. And who better to get power from than the goddess of life?
Is that what he said?
I
I
don't
think-
know.
He said it was a backup plan in case the ritual didn't work.
Yes, and the backup plan is to draw enough power.
Okay.
That is what he said. He said, draw enough power from the Umbra and
Draw
from the Queen.
power from the Umbra and the Queen. Okay.
Well, there's a place
Look, I'll
somewhere in
bite.
there that we
I'll
can
bite.
we can
One
rob.
caveat. I'll take you to Matthew's house. I'll even show you the door. But if for some reason you get possessed by an otherworldly entity, I'm gonna kill you.
We
Fine.
can try.
We can't have her doing the thing in the shadows with her dad doing the thing in the real shadows, and then suddenly you're some other superpowered being. I've seen enough movies. I know where this goes. This is bad.
Where does it go?
Bad. That's why it's written to be bad.
Yeah, but what would be the bad thing? See, if we know what the bad thing is in advance, then maybe we can prepare for the bad thing.
Well, we can go ask all the people that were affected by the bad thing, but we can't seem to get a line on all of them. They just keep dying, Em. Or they get the shadow and they disappear.
Well, you're part of the reason why some of them are dying
I'm part of the reason why there's a lot of people living.
and dying.
Emma, you're alive because I willed it.
I'm technically not alive.
Oh my god.
And the memory that she's also 8 years old.
Oh my god.
All right, let's go.
So you make your way to Matthew's house directly then.
He starts
Yes.
rubbing his earlobes. Oof.
You get there without a problem. You're not very far. It may be about 5-10 minute walk, rather close. And when you walk up, it's still before you, unpurchased and empty.
Okay. This is the house. I don't understand the significance of this place other than, yes, Matthew was weird and not human. Like, what does it all mean?
Can I like feel the house?
Yeah.
Like,
You touch the house? The house.
yeah.
It's a house. No heartbeat happening from the house.
It doesn't feel like it's alive.
Come
It just
ins-
feels like
come
a house.
inside. It's the door is inside. It's not even a door, it's an archway.
Oh, so it's not
As
even
you
the
walk
front
up,
door.
as you walk up to the front door, though, Ava, and you look at the front door. No, that's the door you saw. You saw the front door.
Hold up, Ollie. That is the
What?
door.
The front door?
That is the door that I saw. That is the door.
Well,
Have you
Emmy
been?
knocks on the door.
Echoes
Yeah.
in a very empty home.
I've been inside a couple of times. I watched Matthew go through an archway.
Mm-hmm. And when you look at the door, Ava, well, just from where you are, you don't even see a place for old key like that to fit.
Then let's just. Okay, let's just go in then.
Where
Let's
do you
go
have,
in.
is the key like, do you have it out or what are you doing with it?
I have it in my purse.
Okay.
I don't have it out currently.
Gotcha. Okay. You just like, let's go in. And so,
Yes.
Ollie, the door's locked, unsurprisingly, but, you know, you can jiggle it open or, actually you would know where the key is to the front door. You probably have it hidden away. So Ollie walks off and grabs a key to pop the door open and you step into a empty home.
All right. Look, I'm here. I want some answers. And I am a seer. Okay. So I'm going to see what I can find in here. And I want to use clairvoyance.
Oh, fuck.
Straight up.
You are going
straight
for
up.
level
This
fucking
is-
5.
Yeah, I get info on the whole area.
No,
with
I know
clairvoyance.
what you get.
So,
I need to check Claire. Yeah.
Are you saying that out loud? Are you like?
She probably doesn't say the word. No, she probably just
yeah,
says,
but I'm
gonna
like,
induce
I'm a
vision.
seer, so I'm gonna see what I can see. And yeah, so like you see Ava getting ready to do something.
Yeah, nothing doesn't look anything different than she's done a million times before. Above table, this is her new ability she's had for a few.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are gonna have to rouse check for it, obviously. Okay, hunger 3. You will need now to make me an intelligence auspex roll, and it is based on basically a security that I deem essentially. Okay, and then you're gonna. No, not for that. 3.
Ooh.
Do you want to use a willpower and roll 3 more? Re-roll 3?
Yes, I am going to. Let's see what we get. 4 successes. Oh man, I want to hit 5.
I
should've
I don't
roused.
think there's anything you can do. Oh, you didn't
No.
rouse for it?
I didn't rouse for it.
Gotcha.
well.
Unfortunate. Yeah, it happens. 4 is still a lot. And what you're trying to do is Ava might not even realize what she's about to attempt to do. She'd probably be like, I'm going to do what I always do. Just let me see if I can figure this out. I'm just going to do it on the house as a whole. Let's just see if it fucking works. And as you touch the house and you let the blood thicken and course, and as she settles down, Ollie and Emmy, are you two doing anything? Or are you just watching and waiting to see what happens?
I'm watching for the possession.
Emmy is like looking around this house and like opening drawers and stuff.
Okay.
I bet you find a Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
So, Ava, the rules it's like questions you can ask, but I'm more interested in like, instead of being like, ask a question, I'll give you an answer. What is she trying to figure out? What would be the question she's walking into trying to answer by touching the house?
Where is the entrance? Like, must be an entrance to something
So
in
you're like,
here.
yeah, what this key that you have, like just trying to
Yes.
see, maybe you can see beyond like the realm of what you're usually used to and seeing
Yes.
it can happen. So
Yes.
you close your eyes, you cross your legs and sit down, kind of just get comfy, and you induce this vision. And what you see initially is kind of familiar. You step almost away from yourself. The world of the physical gets mute. You feel like you're underwater. All the very similar and familiar signs that what you want to do is at least working. And as you are actually able to get a good look around the room you're in, suddenly almost to be able to step out of your body itself, though you still see your physical presence there, it just looks like a room to you. You look to see what's going on, but everybody's kind of frozen in time. Ollie and Emmy are mid saying something, but you are able to take the time to explore. At least you normally would. However, in that moment, suddenly your vision is pulled outward. You watch the house. You're not like 100 feet above it. You're just outside of it, maybe 20 feet from the front door. And all of a sudden it seems to vibrate gently and then faster and faster until the house itself becomes so blurred you can't make out details. And then you hear a high-pitched whine and a low thrumming of that vibration before you hear another sound of a shatter while you watch the house fracture into 7 different houses, all looking almost fucking identical. And you look to each one, but there are little differences. One, the front lawn has a bike. Another one, the front lawn's weeds are overgrown. And 3 others, the lawn's kept, but the house's color is a varying different shade of white. And again, they all begin to vibrate again. They begin to separate again in another shatter before you see countless homes, before all of those images and broken glass swirl around you like a tornado, all to form a single door. The one thing that has been the same, you realize through your own vision, through all of these homes, the door. And the front door is sitting before you again, refracted and reflected in all of those thousands of shards swirling around you. And that's when it ends.
I think we need to leave. And I need to use this key to open that door. I think I just saw this house through time and different versions of it. And the one thing that always stayed the same is that door. And I think I need to use the key to get in.
All right. How are you going to do that?
We're going to leave and close the door again. And then we're going to re-enter, but this time I'm putting there wasn't any keyhole. I'm going to try to see if I can get in with the key.
Okay.
Did the two of you stay in, or do you go
closes
outside?
the drawer.
I think we should all go outside.
Okay.
Yep.
So we leave.
You step out, and you step out. You kind of put yourself in the position where you were before. You approach the door. This time, you reach into your purse and you pull the key.
Yep, and I'm gonna just try to,
You
even if it doesn't really fit in the lock, I'm gonna
Sure,
try to
sure.
just use it.
Go immediately. I need you to make me an intelligence awareness roll.
Okay. Intelligence.
Do you want to rouse?
I
I asked before the roll happened, so
That's all right. I'll stick with the 3.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
As you bring out the key from your purse and you step forward, before you even get a foot from the door with the key, you watch as the door itself does what you watch the entire building do. Vibrate to a point of being unable to see any of the details as it blurs. But instead of it fracturing as you approach, it simply grows and more transparent until it eventually gives way to an old oaken door with a metal handle and a keyhole that fits perfectly. Emmy and Ollie do not see this, however. They just see you up to the door itself.
The door just changed.
She says that, and you're like, no, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
You know you have the power of visions, and this is something that you may only see. It's not super out of the ordinary, and they would know that too, that she's a seer. That's the whole thing.
Okay. I am going to put the key in the keyhole and try to open this oaken door.
Absolutely.
God.
The two of you watch as she places the key into a keyhole that seems to be completely fits the door itself, like it was almost the keyhole was always there. Can you both make me a resolve composure check? No, resolve intelligence check. Sorry, resolve intelligence.
Resolve intelligence.
Yeah, two ability scores. 3. You could spend a willpower and roll 3 more, or re-roll 3. 2 for Ollie.
Nope, I can't willpower.
That's fine. Okay. Yeah. No, I know that. So you can add 1 more success for 4. Emmy, that keyhole wasn't there before. Ollie, that keyhole's always been there.
That keyhole wasn't there before. Must be the monkey.
Is right there.
And maybe the two of you look at each other confused, And but all the while, Ava does turn the key. And as you unlock the door, Ava, you can hear the heavy metallic lock built into this old door just go ka-chunk as the metal handle now gives way and has actual relaxation enough where you can press it down and push the door inward.
Okay. I'm going to push it and try to enter.
As you slide the door open, initially it just looks like you push it open and it kind of brushes up against the inside of the house's carpet as you see the inside of the house. Empty. Like it was when you were in there a minute ago. The door definitely changed.
I'm gonna just look around now.
You're just like looking into the house. Do
Yeah.
Before you are you about to step in?
I think yes, I would
Are
like
the other
to
two
step in.
also planning on it, or are you guys watching? Like, how close are you to Ava when she's doing all this?
I can
Well,
imagine we're very far.
Emmy will go.
Very far. Ollie's like, I'm very far away. Emmy's like, I'm right next to
No,
her.
I can't imagine we're very far from her.
Sure. Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
if we're,
No,
like,
you're not
looking at a
super far,
keyhole,
but
like-
like, I don't know if you're like next to her or like you gave her 5 feet.
I don't know. I gave her like 5 or 6 feet away.
Okay.
Emmy's like next to her.
Okay. Ava,
Looking
so you're gonna
around.
step in?
Yes, I think I am. Yep.
All right. As she steps into the door, Ollie and Emmy resolve composure check. I would suggest rousing as a DM.
Okay. Oh, at least you both succeeded.
Yeah,
what was
yeah.
it? What
Resolve composure.
Oh my.
That's pretty good for me though. It's
Yeah.
not bad.
It's not that I don't need the intelligence for this one. I need the composure. Hey, messy critical. That's fine. That's really.
Seven.
I mean,
7. Yes.
holy fuck. Okay, you both don't forget who Ava is as she disappears from your view, and the door goes to slam shut.
Can I stop it?
You may make me a Dex Athletics to see if you can get there in time.
Can I try to get in?
You may make me a Dex Athletics to see if you slip in time.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay, I want to.
Actually,
You got 4.
with a messy critical, yeah, that's with a rouse check. With 4, you are as it's literally barely big enough to get your fingers in between the door frame and the door as it slams down on your door.
Any willpower.
yeah, you're gonna have willpower.
Yeah, I'm gonna willpower.
yeah.
What is that BS? Okay, 3.
With 3, you actually are you sliding your fingers in between is enough so that Emmy's foot doesn't get slammed on by at her ankle as she slips her fucking ankle in and slips in past as well. You don't actively see her disappear, so I don't need you to make me a roll, but you catch the door and it is with a force actually trying to slam shut on you, Ollie.
I will resist.
Yep. Okay, make me an intelligence. First, the intelligence, what did I make you roll? The intelligence awareness roll first.
Intelligence awareness?
Yep. This is to see if the illusion of this thing fades
Oh
away.
my gosh! If we both
I
forgot
thought it
you.
was it the composure resolve?
That was to see if you forgot Ava.
Okay, so-
Awareness is just to see if your vision or your because you're physically interacting with the door now. So
Yeah.
Ava, hilariously, Emmy did not, so she never saw it
3.
change.
3 seconds.
With
All right, 3 successes.
With 3 successes, it's not as quickly as it happened for Ava. As you're fighting this thing and you're like kind of staring at it, it begins to slowly shake and then it begins to speed up before it does so and then becomes more and more transparent as it gets faster and faster. And you're not sure if you see the old oaken door because it vanished or because it's vibrating at a speed that you literally can't see or even interact with how fast it moves. Either way, that door gives way to an old ass oaken door. Old oaken door.
So definitely not the one that I saw previously.
Definitely not the one that you saw previously. And,
Okay.
Emmy saying there was no keyhole there. All of a sudden, you're like, oh no, she was right.
I am going to do everything in my power to not let that door close.
Okay, are you trying to enter or no?
I want to put my back to the door and like leg on the frame, just like holding this thing open, even if my body's contorted to do it.
So I want it's going to be opposed strength brawls.
Okay. That's pretty good for me.
Yes. If you want anyone in the coterie doing this, it's fucking Ollie.
True.
Because this is a supernaturally
Ollie's
attempting.
like,
would you
Hodor.
Yeah.
Hodor.
That's so many dice.
7 successes.
God. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you are not with like relative ease, but with a more of an effort than you were expecting to have to put forward. You actually just like anchor your fucking feet down because it opened inward, so it's swinging toward you. Yep. And in order to push this thing open, you will have to step through the door itself, unless you are trying to just keep it inches open and not.
I imagine that I'm half in, half out.
Okay. Once you move past the halfway in point, the door vanishes from you, utterly disappears. And maybe for the very first time, Ollie is kind of going to experience something that Ava has experienced countless times over 20 some odd years of having visions as you step into a world that is beyond understanding. For all of you. First Ava, then Emmy, and then Ollie at the end. The world before you changes. As you step through the door, suddenly the house in front of you stretches. And stretches quickly. The walls distancing themselves even further as the grug and ground beneath you just grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Every step you take seems to expand this place, even if you've only taken 2. And eventually, that home rushes past you. You're shot out that front door that's open and stood in the middle of the street. You look around to realize that wherever you are isn't where you were isn't where you came from, the world you were once a part of. Instead of these buildings standing quietly in a nice suburban home, you watch as the buildings begin to lean precariously. This, Ava, becomes familiar. You saw something like this last time, where the buildings begin to lean on themselves in an almost MC Escher style way, or perhaps it was Nelson who saw it, whoever it was, I was kind of describing it. Not in that the buildings themselves have dilapidated and fallen to lean on another, but almost in a purposeful way. Buildings are stretched and leaned in awkward positions. You watch as the town itself stretches before you and then begins to move beyond its own seeming surface tension. As the city or town of Madison seems to begin to stretch into infinity, you all hear that familiar, or should I say Ava hears a familiar, the other two are new. A high-pitched whine followed by a crack, as though thin ice had just been shattered by somebody stepping onto it, and you hear it begin to expand in all perceivable directions before it shatters. The city of Madison is broken into countless glass shards. Nearby windows or nearby buildings are now distorted beyond reason. Traffic light colors are changing at random through these glass shards. Red, yellow, green, yellow, red, yet. And it's chaotic. Blinking patterns make no sense. Discerning any sort of symphony amongst it is insane, except for maybe Emmy, who watches all of these lights and there's a message in there. You're certain of it. The sidewalks that you were on crack and buckle underneath your feet, giving way and making you fall for eternity, for 2 seconds, revealing glimpses of a subterranean world filled with twisting pipes that lead in nonsensical directions, tangled like wires in a nerd's desk who's never heard of wire management. Manholes become gaping maws, belching forth noxious fumes, green gases and smells, poisons filling the air, as the echoes of screaming fills the rest of the silence. Street lamps flicker, die, bursting back to life in fire, dying again, casting long distorted shadows, dancing and writhing as if the shadows themselves are possessed. You see unsettling figures amongst them all. A mannequin draped in newspapers that whispers prophecies of doom that you can hear from a distance. The ever-ticking clock of the world's end. A businessman with a clockwork heart ticks relentlessly in front of you as you whip by at an dizzying speed. And a homeless woman with eyes that glow like embers watches, seemingly whispering something cryptic at you, but you can't understand a word she says. The air becomes thick, and almost a scent of burning rubber begins to fill your noses. For you, Emmy, this is intense. You actively are breathing. For the two of you, it's almost as like you can't avoid it. It's punctuated by the sickly sweet smell of rotting meat and decay, with that mix of a metallic tang of blood that kind of sits on your tongue even just from smelling it. The sounds of Madison are now so distorted that a cacophony of car horns, sirens, disembodied voices all seem to echo from twisted alleys that spin and swirl in directions into the sky endlessly. Time itself seems to fracture, moments stretching into eternity, memories blending with hallucinations if you're not even sure are your own, or if these are parts of yourself that you forgot about, or perhaps parts of yourself living in worlds that you weren't privy to having or enjoyed. You catch glimpses of the city's past, present, future, all merging together as horses ride along cars, ride along, dystopia, right? Neon signs and capitalism run amok, almost in a cyberpunk 2077 way, a future of Madison that you might be seeing. And I'm sure, yeah, Ava's all completely confused by this dizzying collage of like images and feelings, because the Umbra itself is a surreal nightmare. The Umbra is a distorted reflection of our world, the dark underbelly, and in a way, the Umbra is presenting our reality as it truly is, not how we see it. Eventually, all of that gives way, careening past you, fracturing into glass, and then eventually giving way into silence. But now, instead of bizarre towers or buildings leaning on each other, things seem to be in their place, but off. The playground across the street now has a swing set dangling from a thick branch in the middle of an oak tree that wasn't there before, that seems to have been there for hundreds of years. The sweet smell of chlorine in pools is instead replaced with the sounds and smells of nature and flowers, as each yard seems to be overgrown with grass. And however, you notably do not see any insects and whatnot flying amongst them, nor nature. However, you are in eerie, deafening silence, while this twisted mirror of the world that you came from has taken its place. And Matthew's house is nothing more than a small wooden shack with an old fucking oaken door sat right in the front of it. Clearly the thing that is probably keeping this thing up the most. The door and its frame. The only things that seem to not have rotted away. All three of you realize all three of you are there. Maybe it takes a second because you didn't see each other during that movement through one of the layers of the Umbra. But you realize, Ava, you have Emmy next to you. And as you look around, Ollie behind you.
They're
Ollie,
trying to tell us something.
I'm curious what Ollie's reaction to going through all of that would be.
The lot.
It is sensory overload. It's overstimulation.
Yeah.
It is beyond anything. And even for you, Ava, though you've gone through things similar like this, you have never physically pushed your body through this and seen it all for all of it that it is. And you only got a glimpse as you weren't stopping in that layer. For those who are maybe listeners and don't know Vampire or World of Darkness, the Umbra is like 9 or so odd layers. Where you are aiming or where you're heading to was not the first layer, but the second layer, the near Umbra. And that's kind of where you are. But you had to get through the penumbra to get there.
Huh.
And yeah, Ava, this is even your first time seeing it in this much detail. Less vague in a way and more direct, but still chaos.
My God. That was some trip to get here.
Does Ollie just look dumbfounded? Like silenced?
I think he's just kind of still taking it in, and he probably says out loud, I really wish Dakota was here.
Yeah, I don't think she'd want to be here at all.
I don't know if we should stray too far from the shed.
I would agree. We shouldn't. Maybe I can find more information.
As you look around, Ava, as I described, you have all these homes, these suburban homes overrun by nature, but still there. But as you look toward Madison itself, all you see is thick forest. If Madison is even there, it's long been overtaken by whatever nature this place has.
Maybe we have to head toward where the... Oh, no.
As you look down, too, because you were standing on the streets, while the sidewalks are no longer there, the streets are, I wouldn't say well kept because it's pretty overgrown, too, but clearly a trodden path of some kind.
is there a clear path then?
Yeah,
If, like
it leads into Madison, much like the main road did. But it quickly, again, you'll realize it quickly what you believe to Madison to be gives way. Like, there is no Madison as you understand it here.
I think we should follow this path.
Does it look like there's anything else to follow, or is that like the most
for
obvious?
you, Emmy, this place is mesmerizing. As Ava is maybe a little familiar and Ollie is a bit overwhelmed at the moment, you are looking around and realizing that the sky is a canvas of swirling colors that never sit still and almost undulate and mix in the sky, almost as though it be a liquid. It is a symphony of blues and greens that dance and weave together, forming intricate patterns that shift almost kaleidoscope-esque before they separate and become chaos again. The sun, or what you would assume was the sun, hangs low on the horizon. And again, something that maybe even Ollie and Emmy didn't realize, it's daylight here. At least a kind of daylight. It hangs low on the horizon. It's pulsing gently. And you can almost see the orb of molten gold liquid that this thing is made of. It is not the sun as you understand it. And it seems to be sitting in a sun-setting position, half down. Wavering shadows across this like landscape shimmer as it begins to set for the evening. And so, I imagine for Emmy, there's a lot that's really distracting and whatnot, but there's only one path here. And if you look around, other than the buildings, everything looks like wild nature, completely overtaken.
Yeah, I think Emmy just goes,
It's so beautiful.
It's...
All right, let's go.
Okay, let's follow, but make sure we don't, we keep track of where we're going so we don't get lost.
Emmy was like starting to run and then slows down.
Can I grab anything?
It's physical, absolutely. What do you grab? Like a
I
tree
don't know.
branch?
Is there like
dirt?
a tree stump,
Yeah,
a brick, something that I can crumble
touch
and
grass.
leave a trail?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, there's a building near you, not necessarily the shack, but there's a few of the other buildings that were, they were the typical suburban homes. Now they're more like brick buildings that belong to a village, but you can grab shit and sprinkle a trail. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just going to try to break down a brick into pebbles and try to leave a trail.
Yeah, and you do so. And, you keep it relatively, I imagine you're not doing it like every inch, but enough where you can see
Probably
each one.
every 4 or 5, 6 feet, every couple of steps.
That makes a lot more sense. So you all begin to follow the path. And Ava, are you, is Ava doing anything in particular? Or is she just like, let's follow the path and see where it goes?
For now, I may try to use a vision.
Later, sure.
If we feel lost, yeah.
Absolutely. No, that makes sense. So you continue to follow this path, and eventually this path becomes more twisted, a bit more winding, and the path eventually becomes barely a trail, plunging into the thick tops of of trees, and eventually thorned brambles. Bits and pieces mixed in with the overflowing nature of things that don't quite belong. Plant life that seems that it wouldn't thrive here as well as it seems to be, but nothing that's overwhelming the local nature in any way. As you continue on through this labyrinth of a path and trail, it eventually gives way entirely. The swirling sky of colors continues, however, doesn't change, and neither does the low-hanging orange quote-unquote sun. And in fact, as you spend more time walking, you realize the sun is not setting, ever. It seems to be stuck in that same position. The ground beneath you continues to change, and you're not sure when it happened, but as you continue walking, suddenly you're no longer walking on dirt. Sure, you see trees around you and bits of grass, but at some point you started walking on water. You look down, and the water ripples out from under your feet, but it never gives way. It never crashes, forces you to sink. Instead, you truly...
If I jump, does it splash?
As you jump, little bits of water splash up, but you never sink beneath it. Do you do anything? You just at this point, you've lost a path. The path is gone, but you have an intent and you can still see bits of land. It's not like it's a vast ocean of wandering. And if there's, ahead the land, perhaps the path picks back up over there. Unless anybody sounds the alarm, is like, hey, let's head back.
What happens if I put the brick down on the water, like the crumble, the pebble?
It sinks.
It caught on to you.
I say we keep going.
What's the harm in just calling out?
You want us to leave?
I mean, making noise.
Oh.
Something lives here.
We could call for her name. Queen Ananasa.
Maybe even like hesitate when you say that, look around,
Yeah.
and you're like, no, but hang on. In the distance, is that lights? Oh, there might be, is that a village? It's hard to tell. But you begin to see flickering orange lights up ahead, deeper into the woods.
I say we go that way.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
You're not sure if that was there before or not.
Let's head over there to the
Yeah.
village.
I'm the weird one for speaking to a hallway.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can shout. What's the harm in that? But what if you awaken something else that's in the water?
Is it warm? Like,
It's nice. It's pleasant. Yeah, it's like 70, 80 degrees. Maybe not 80, probably like 70, 75.
This is the first time he's felt sun on his skin in decades.
Yeah. And you're not burning. You're not dying. You don't fear it.
Yeah,
It just feels nice.
it's kind of nice.
Ava really followed through on her promise today.
And Emmy's just like splashing around in the water.
What happens if I, just for curiosity's sake, what happens if I taste the water?
Ooh.
So do you Ollie stop everybody? Because Ava's like, okay, let's go this way.
As she's hopping off, like, even if Ava doesn't do
You say
anything, I'll
that
just kind
out
of
loud?
squat down and kind of pull up some water in my hand and bring it up to my mouth.
You dip down, your hand and touches the cold water, and you're able to, as you push your head down, you actually can just dip it into the water as farther than where your legs take you. As you scoop your hand back up and sip it, it's crisp, it's cold, it tastes like water.
I didn't have to rouse for that.
You take a moment and you're like, is my body acting? And you're like, no, I'm still dead. You don't feel alive.
Right, but I didn't have to,
You
like,
mean-
it didn't turn to ash in my mouth.
No. You sipped it and went down.
You say anything?
Yeah, to M. M!
What?
And, like, I'll point to the water, and then I'll put my hand down and scoop some water up to my mouth.
Emmy will scoop some water up,
You sip it
try to
down.
drink it.
And
Yeah.
it's cold, refreshing water.
It's refreshing.
And then she just starts scooping more in her mouth.
Okay, look, I'll bite. Let's keep going.
Does Emmy stop or she's it's still just
She's
going?
like drinking a bunch of water, but then as soon as we're going, she'll catch up and follow.
So you keep walking towards the lights, making your way to the other side, and for better or worse, you do not find another trail here. But you can still see through the thick of the woods the lights in the distance that beckon you forward almost welcomingly. And you continue on, the faint warmth continuing to touch your skin. It's almost as like the day itself is the evening rays are just casting that comfortable warm end of day feeling on a warm summer night. Long back when you were in high school and you had summer vacations, that feeling of relaxation and almost a carefree feeling just starts to kind of eep in. For Emmy, maybe a little bit stronger, but it's a nostalgic feeling. Nostalgia. That seems to be the feeling that seems to be eeping in more and more. Subtly, the changes of light continue, and no longer are you looking at a flickering glow of lights through the woods for the village, but instead something softer, a singular light, something of golden luminescence that seems to emanate from the very center of the woods itself. And you feel a pull, a gentle tugging sensation, almost a beckoning. But you're not powerless to resist. I'm curious. All three of you would feel that.
I want to go that way.
I would like to go that way as well.
Yeah, sure.
As you walk closer and closer, while you certainly are making distance, you watch the trees go by. The orb doesn't seem, or rather, I don't want to say orb, it's just kind of like this glow. Doesn't seem to be getting any closer. No brighter. Always distant. But you continue to walk, and you realize that beneath you, the path and the woods themselves are actually changing. Instead of it just being a dirt path or rather wildlife, it slowly gives way to a dirt path that goes on for some time before the path is suddenly beginning to be lined with vibrant wildflowers, but their petals are shimmering with dew that sparkles like diamonds in the strange light emanating from this golden thing. It's enticing,
I
almost
smell them.
hypnotic, and Emmy dips down, and as you smell them, you can feel the dew tickle the tip of your nose when you do. You just smell that intense but very nice, relaxing, just flowery, wildflower scent. No scent in particular, it's just nice. And you can truly take it in and enjoy it. Does Emmy say anything, or does she just kind of dip down and grab one, or just smell it and just keep walking?
Can I grab one? Yeah.
Yeah, you do. And you can pop it up.
Snipping it as I walk.
Yeah. And as you pop it and you walk, you catch up with the rest of them. Are you guys doing anything as you see the path flatlined with flowers? You just continue to walking.
Just walking.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Slowly, the dead still air gives way to a gentle breeze that rustles some of the leaves, and it carries with it a sweet smell of nectar. And it is the quiet, melodic chirping of unseen birds. You haven't seen or heard anything other than your own footsteps and selves since you stepped in here. And as the wind carries past you, it does seem to carry the sounds of the birds with it, as they grow distant and carry off. The path and its vegetation grows thicker, more lush, towering trees, their bark glowing with a weird warm inner light the further in you go. All these trees stretch toward the sky, taller than any skyscraper you've ever seen in Chicago, taller than the ivory tower, every one. Their branches are laden with exotic fruits that are strange and alien, vibrant blossoms of flowers and colors you've never seen bloom on a tree before. The air itself begins to hum with the sound of buzzing bees. You can hear it all. And the ground beneath you is soft, yielding, welcoming, as you realize you're walking on a carpet of moss, not moths. M-O-S-S, not M-O-T-H-S.
Oh no.
That's a wholly different meaning for Ava, and
Yeah.
that's why I make that. That's not what I said. And as you continue on through this thicker and this more lush woods, these vibrant flowers and the sounds of wildlife returning, being able to smell these things in a way you haven't been able to enjoy since you've been turned, you come to a clearing, and your breath would catch in your throat had you been alive. You see a crystal clear pool of water shimmering in the center of these woods, reflecting the golden light that seems to be coming from something about 100 feet above it, in the middle of thick in the middle of the woods. It is something you can't focus on. You can see no shape. You can do nothing but feel the draw get stronger. Lush ferns, vibrant wildflowers surround the pools, their petals unfurling toward the pool itself, all of them angled inward. And it's at this point you begin to realize all those flowers you walked past were all lightly tilted in this direction as well. And you feel peace wash over you.
This is weird.
Tranquility that you haven't felt in the chaotic existence of a kindred since you've lost your life. Those little whispers of the beast that haunt your every step have faded, silenced, like a muzzle put on a dog. And instead, you think you hear a soothing lullaby, a song that just barely seems to sit over everything here. This is a place of bloom, You know, deep in your existence, who is left of you, that this is a sanctuary of life and growth amongst the twisted chaos of existence in the spirit world, both physical and intangible. Here, even the darkest souls can be healed, can be brought to peace. Nothing can be, or I say nothing is permanent. You can be okay. You can be happy. You should be. You almost reflexively take a deep breath with the sweet scent of flowers filling your lungs again. You don't know if she's here, but she's here. She must be. And all of that overwhelming sensations, the feeling of being healed, as much as you enjoy it, there's something about your existence that on an inherent level wants to reject this. While the beast may be muzzled, it cannot be completely rid of. At least not while you still exist this way. For while you are still physically poisoned, a walking corpse, forced to live unending nights, here, should you will it, you could be freed from it all. The beast no more.
Wakanda, baby.
We've
achieved enlightenment.
In a different way.
Wakanda.
There is none that are not welcome here.
I know what this is. I know what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's hit me.
You simply know that you are in communion with this entity that you were looking for now. You know it understands what you want. It understands what you desire and why you seek, or rather why you sought it out. And you inherently know that if that time would come, she will answer the call. And when the call has been done, has been finished, and the job done, you will all be taken into her warmth, away from the world of the physical, from pain, from sorrow. When she leaves, she will take you as well, as reward for saving existence.
What? Oh my gosh.
You've sat there probably feeling just like that, confused. But there is a sense of understanding. A sense of nostalgia wells. You know. You could go home. And as quickly as as you feel that, all of this disappears as you blink. And the world around you is back. You're in front of Matthew's home. Everything is as it should be.
Oh my gosh.
And perhaps on that, we'll end the episode.
Oh man.
We're going to go do an after show, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for next week 50-50 shot. We have some people here. We just got to figure out how many people are going to be here because it's the July 4th weekend. I don't think we'll have the whole crew. So just keep an eye out, but we'll let you know as soon as we know. Thank you guys again. We appreciate you. We love you, and we'll see you next time. Bye everybody.
Bye.